It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello everyone and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California. The first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hanson. I'm here with the poker babe, Shirley Rosario, and it's Wednesday night. Happy Turkey Day to everyone, because we're not going to see you guys. We're going to be running a best of show tomorrow night. But we'll get into that later. We're going to be doing our normal Wednesday night whale game, 5100 No Limit Hold'em, sponsored by Poker Blue. So without further ado, let's get to it and let's do this thing. Here comes my friend on the screen.
Play just 4 hours on PokerBlue.com and qualify for our weekly free roll to win your choice of a seat at the World Poker Tour, the World Series of Poker, or, if you dare, a seat at Poker Blue's high-stakes whale game here on Live at the Bike. Get in on the action now because these free rolls are so small that they redefine the term overlay. To qualify, open an account on PokerBlue.com with $100. Then play 4 hours at $1 and $2 limit or any no-limit game. You can even start playing right now while watching Live at the Bike. Just click the PokerBlue.com banner on the right of your screen or log on to PokerBlue.com, bonus code BIKE. And don't forget, every week you play 4 hours gives you another chance to win.
Oh, righty then. So here we go. Let's get into this thing, 5100 No Limit Hold'em, and let's introduce the players.
Okay, in seat 1 we have Yosh. Seat 2 we have Ken Berg.
Currently not there.
Right.
Yep.
Seat 3 is, well,
Action Joe Wynn, right?
yeah, but I thought that Vic was sitting. Okay, so both of them are not there. So
Yeah.
Joe Wynn in seat 3, Vic Park in seat 4, Ed Shanazarian, seat 5.
There he is, Ed.
Seat 6 is Mike Wu. We have Avo in seat 7, Ali in seat 8, and Simon will be coming in seat 9.
And
joining us.
Jesus is on the board for this game. He's
Oh, that'll
here,
make it fun.
so we can see if we can get him in the game.
They all bought in for $5,000.
Yeah. Now, Ed raised here pre-flop, I believe. We're going to get right into the first hand. Yoshi's got a pair of 4s. Ed's going to continue to bet here. He bets 400 here on the turn. Yosh called him on the flop with ace-4. And it looks like Ed's putting a pretty small bet here on the turn. Action's over to Yosh. He has bottom pair.
Every day I play with you, it's a new experience.
And he's going to make the call. And here we go to the river, and the river's a 3, and it's a spade. And Ed bets 400 again. And if Yosh thought that Ed might have been betting into a flush draw, well, he just got there. Again, we jumped in this hand in between, but it looks like Ed's betting small amounts. Probably it's 400 into about a $2,000 pot here on the river. And let's see what Yosh is going to do here. He's going to make the call.
It's not too hard to only call 400 in that pot.
Now,
A big pot like that.
the other thing, too, is that we know Ed, he probably would push more with the flush.
Yes, he would push more with a queen.
Yeah. So, for those of you that are not familiar with this game, the white chips are $100 chips, as you see. Yosh scoops some in there. And then I don't know if we can get a shot there of Ed, because it looks like he's got a lot of chips over there in seat 5. Pink chips are $50 chips.
Right.
White chips are $100 chips. Yellow chips are $5 chips. And purples are $25.
Now, once in a while they have bigger denominations, 1,000 and 5,000, but I don't see any out here. It's probably a little early for that.
That's why Yosh has a Peace Valley and not the other way around. Is that it?
Huh? Couple poker games.
And we got the button has moved over here to seat 3.
Somebody raise? No, sir. No, everybody go. Play here. Take the seat. Hey, who put that $5 bill
Lift
there?
around here.
It's like for Simon.
So Ed, he's going to be up and down all night, Shirley, as usual. Over there in seat 5.
I'll have to tell you this funny story what Mo was telling me last night about Ed and the game.
Honey,
5-way action here.
Yes.
Ace 10-9 here on the flop. Yoshi's got a gut shot straight draw. Gets checked around. Turns a 7.
300.
Now Ali's going to bet 300 here with King 10. And Yoshi's going to make the call. Yoshi's got a double gutter there.
Two players.
Hey, give me back 1,500 when you get a chance. I gave you 500 for you.
And here we go to the river. The river's a 5. And it looks like Ali has checked. And Yoshi's missed, so let's see if he's going to bet.
I know you don't like it. I bluff you out so easy.
5 of hearts here on the river.
All right, I check.
And Yoshi just gives up.
He gives up, yeah.
And Ali takes it down. So there we go. What were you going to say?
Okay, so he said that they were playing the $500 game last night, and Corporation Mike raised the blind, the 5 and 10 blind, to $200, and Ali called with Jack 7 and diamonds. The $200 raise in the 5-10.
Yeah.
Then another guy comes over the top for $2,000. First guy lays down, Corporation Mike lays down, and Ed called. Did you hear what I said he had? Jack 7 and diamonds.
Jack 7 and diamonds, yeah.
So the flop comes flop comes Ace 7 5. No diamonds. And the guy that originally raid had made a $6,000 bet, and he called. Ed called. $6,000.
Two players.
He lost.
Well,
But the guy was sweating. You know, he's like, that's like his whole bankroll.
Ali has made a bet here on the flop, and it looks like this one actually is going to get checked down. Ali made a bet, and then he checked it to Ed when Ed called the flop. Ed checked behind him on the turn. The river went check, and Ali's going to get a better kicker. Well, I mean, Ed is a guy. I mean, it's a classic case when we talk about it being Whale Night sponsored by Poker Blue. He is a whale. And I mean, not to be in
Meaning
any
he doesn't make his money off of poker.
Exactly. He's got a ton of money from other ventures, from owning a company. The money doesn't matter to him. If he drops $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in a night, it's no big deal.
Right.
Like I said, it's like something akin of, if he makes 1,000 times more money than the average person does, it's like for him dropping $20 or $30, right?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
literally.
Yeah.
You know? He's just here to have a good time.
Well, the guy that had moved in, I'm trying to think of his name because I know Mohammed told me. And that's a lot to him. That's almost his whole bankroll right there. And
Yeah.
he's just sweating. Please no Jackson 7. Please no Jackson 7.
Well, Yosh has made a little raise here with King 10, and Ed, he's heads up here against Ed. And Ed's flopped the flush draw. Now Yosh checks it, and Ed checks right behind him. Turns a 9 of spades here. And now Yosh has got, he had a gut shot, and now he's got a
He has
double
a double.
gutter.
Mm-hmm.
And the river's a deuce, and Ed gets there.
He's a heart.
600.
And there's a $600 bet here by Ed. So Yosh never bet
And pay
there.
attention to this, because what's the pot? He's making like a pot-sized bet.
Right.
A lot different than what he was earlier when he
Little
didn't
mini
have
bets.
anything.
That's right.
When he has something, he fires. So
All right, I'm going to make a lay down.
Well, I mean, Yosh, he
it's very easy to lay down.
It looked like Yosh had raised out of the blind, and then he never, he never followed through. Let's go around and introduce the table here one more time. In seat
In seat 1, we have Yosh. In seat 2, Ken Berg. Still not there. Action Joe Wynn. He's there in seat 3. Vic Park in seat 4. And Ed in seat 5. Seat 6 is Mike Wu. And Avo in seat 7.
400.
Ali's in seat 8. And Simon is in seat 9.
There's the Simon coming in the game. Action Simon, he played in the heads-up match. He's going to play in the $5,000 game here tonight.
You know, when I watched him, I'm not familiar with him at all.
I played with him in the 30 game a lot. Now, we had a race
Okay.
here. by Mike in seat number 6. He has Queen 10 of diamonds, and he got called by Ed and by Vic.
600.
And he's going to lead here for 600. And Vic is a tricky player. He might actually make a move on this flop, but he's not going to play. Ed folds. And Mike Wu, who could be probably the most solid player on the table, is going to take it down to seat 6.
Yeah.
He was the big winner last week. Again, to go into some of these players, this is going to be an exciting night because we've got Ed and Simon on the table. Mega action.
And if we get Jesus on the table, look out.
And Simon, again, he finished off the heads-up night with us, playing heads-up against Avo for 3 matches on Monday. Button's going to move over there to seat 1. That's Yosh. Yosh is looking kind of spiffy tonight.
300.
And we get a raise here by Mike Wu. Good. Raise it up to 300. And he's got 8 and 9 of clubs. Seat 4 calls with Jack Deuce of clubs, and Simon in seat 9's got Ace Jack of spades. And look at this, 2 flush draws. Mike is the pre-flop raiser here with 8-9 overcards and flush draws. But Vic is going to bet right in here. He's going to bet 400, and Mike calls. And Simon gets rid of the Ace Jack of spades. And here we go to the turn. Both drawing on clubs. It's a 4 on the turn. And the action's on Vic. The pot, I want to say, is about $1,800. And Vic is checked, and Mike is going to bet 800 here. And Vic is good here with Jack high, but obviously the draws go out the window with the trips on board here.
Right. And especially against Mike, like you said, I mean, he's one of the more solid players on the table. So.
Yeah.
I mean, why mess with him when there's so many more easy targets on him?
Right. Well, if you want to follow a live thread that's started on the internet, you can go to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Click on forums. Texas Hold'em section, mid and high stakes pot and no limit Hold'em. The official Live the Bike thread for 11/23, 5100 no limit Hold'em.
And good luck in registering.
You can also email us at live@thebike.com. 3-way action here. 9, 9, 4. It looks like we got pocket 7s there for Mike Wu. And he's going to bet 300 here. You know, it's interesting, Shirley. After the shows here, after we complete each Live at the Bike show, we actually do a post-game interview for television for our LA Poker Scene show in England. And Mike Wu was the big winner last week, and he was talking about it with me last week that the guy that he actually fears the most at the table is Vic Park. He says he's dangerous, and we've seen him
Vic
make a lot of moves.
Vic is a good player. I like Vic's style of play. He hasn't really done well on. I don't think he's done well overall, but I like the way he plays.
I would say it's a pretty small sample size, you know, once a week, 3 hours a week.
Right,
We've
and we've
maybe
seen
6
like
or 7 weeks.
Right.
Now, C3 is going to raise here. That's Action Joe in, and he's been a big loser on the show at whatever level he's played at, Shirley. Whether it's this game or in Friday night's game. He's got ace-10 of spades. He brought it in for a raise. Let's see how he plays it.
500.
He's going to bet 500 here. 500 into about a $900 pot. And he's going to take it down.
Just say the word, Joe.
And Joe is action. That's why they call him Action Joe. He's made a lot of moves, but he really has gotten picked off in the past on this show. Again, the white chips are $100 chips. The pink chips are $50 chips, and those purples are $25 chips. Well, looks like, you know, obviously, like you said, seat 2 is locked up for Ken Kookaroo Berg.
Right.
But I haven't seen him in the building. So, I don't know if we have people waiting. Look at this. Is that pocket aces over there? Pocket
Yes.
aces. Pocket aces there for seat 4.
Ace of spades.
Yeah, look
looks
at that
strange.
ace of spades. I don't know if we can get a camera.
Can we get a shot of that one? That's a
window
different.
camera.
Oh, he just pulled it off. But
Pulled it
seat
off.
4, he'll put it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he won't. They folded.
Yeah, is that a different deck they're using?
It is different cards.
We're actually using, they're getting where they use different cards in the high limit games now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Which one's big?
so that's why. That ace of spades looked a little different. And now Vic's picked up, looks like pocket 7s. But Joe is going to raise here to 500. He's got pocket 9s, and we got aces again. Now let's see if we
And
can get
let's
over
get
there
that
to
ace of spades.
seat 7's window cam. Avo on the button.
We'll call 5.
There it is. There it is.
Avo, you're doing
Now,
3 right now.
Joe has raised to 500, and Vic Park folded pocket 7s, and Avo's got aces on the button. And he's going to re-raise.
1,500.
He's going to make it 1,500 to go. And this is one of these real tough spots here, Shirley, with a mid-pocket pair out of position. Now, this is a restricted buy-in game, so Joe might want to just gamble. Looks like he's got about 2,500 more there.
Uh-huh.
Does he want to gamble it up so he can get that full buy-in here? If you were at about $100 in a $200 game, might you move in here and hope for a coin
Well,
flip?
I mean, if that's what you think you have, but he could, Ava could easily have an overpair, too,
He
where
does.
you're in a lot of trouble. And
Well, the
he
thing
does,
is, Joe's
yeah.
like kind of in an
Because
in-between
Ava's a
spot.
pretty tight player.
I mean, is Joe, if he just calls, he only has about 1,000 left, so,
Sure.
Right.
maybe he can play that little stop-and-go move.
Uh-huh.
He's trying to figure it out here. He's just in an awkward spot with his chip stack here. He's kind of short. $500 raise. He made it 1,500 go. He's got 2,500 left. He could obviously you can fold here if you think you're beat.
All in.
And he's going to
No,
put them
he's
all in.
not.
He's going to put them all in.
24
And
more.
obviously Abo is going to call.
24.
So Abo's got pocket aces, and he's going to make the call. And he's in great shape here, obviously. 2,400 more.
They don't need to.
And you wonder, I guess maybe Joe's hoping that it's a coin flip. Well, here we go to the flop. King, queen, 5. Well,
Joe needs some serious help.
yeah, and now Joe probably knows he's beat. Turns at 10.
Well, that helps a little.
Yeah, you
No,
pick
it
a-
doesn't, because the jack gives off a higher
Yeah,
straight.
that's right. He needs a 9
He
and
needs
a
a
9
9.
only. And it's a deuce on the river. Aces is going to take it down. And Abo says, you have jacks? No, he had 9s. And Abo takes it down. He adds that chip stack.
What do you have? What do you have?
And let's see if Joe's going to rebuy here.
What do you have? Aces?
So
And,
I'm looking at that. Kenna finished 7th at the Monte Carlo. I thought he made the final 6. Yesterday, didn't they play down to 6 players?
Players.
You're not sure. That's okay.
Buttons moved over here to seat 9. I don't follow all that tournament gossip. I'm too.
Well, I follow my friend Kenna. Thank you very much.
I'm
He
too-
sent me an email last night and said I made it to the final, whatever, send some words of encouragement. So I sent him an email this morning.
That was nice.
Obviously, my encouragement kind of sucked. I was just,
That was nice. Now, also again, we're looking at some people writing about on the 2+2 thread. You can follow a live thread by going to 2plus2.com. Click on forums, Texas Hold'em, mid and high stakes pot, no limit Hold'em. Now, Kev Matthews, kind of the forum leader, says that the description on our website about what the
350.
best of shows tomorrow are not that exact, so I'll try to get that to you guys here in a second. We got a raise here by Yosh. King Jack offsuit. He made it 350 to go, and Vic is called with Queen 8 of diamonds. And we are heads up.
I thought you guys didn't play.
4, 5, 7. Vic has got a gut shot there.
Me, get me.
Check, check. $700 pot, turns a 4.
they both checked again.
And the river's a jack, and now Yosh has a pair. Let's see if Vic is going to bet here.
Thank you.
Because obviously you can't think his queen high is good. He's going to bet 400, and Yosh is going to call.
400 bet doesn't make it. Well, you're going to bet more than 400.
And Vic is going to
Right
fold.
bet 600. 500 was right.
And basically, again, I'm not exactly privy as to what is up on the website in terms of what that where those episodes are. But
Okay.
well, I'm getting word in my ear from my producer that it's exactly what we're doing. It's up on the website. But David and I kind of recorded a little bit of Three Stooges style marathon intros and outros between the episodes. So check that
Are
out.
you serious?
And we basically the episodes, and we're talking
When did you do that?
just this afternoon. Seat
Did he
six
get
is-
a smack you?
Seat 6 raised here with ace 10 offsuit, and he's going to take it down.
Is it really Three Stooges style?
No, what I mean by that is it's just any type of marathon. You know how they have the goofy
Oh,
guys
like the
that come
Twilight
in
Zone
between.
marathons and.
Well, just the rambling nonsense in between episodes.
Okay.
You know, we're going to do 4 episodes tomorrow, starting at noontime. Check it out. It's going to be 4 of some of our best episodes. The episode with Greg Raymer from February 25th. The first Bombshell Girls episode from April 21st. The first Poker Blue Whale Night, which was 400-800 limit hold'em on August 24th, featuring a few people, including Sean Chacon, Tim Fan, Juan Lee. Queen 4-4 here. The pot was limped around. Ed's going to bet here 500. Looks like he's going to take it down. And then the last episode was recently, October 25th, the episode with Jesus and the guy with the sucker, and Kenna James comes in at the end.
Right.
And Jesus' Mexican poker buddy.
Yeah.
So again, February 25th, April 21st, August, and October 25th. And then on Friday, we are dark again, and we will start at our normal time at 6 o'clock Pacific time, and we will rerun the first Barry Greenstein episode. So check it out. Now we got a $400 raise here by Vic Park. He's got ace king.
Make it 8.
And look at this. Ed's going to re-raise with ace 9.
2 players.
And Vic calls. And we've got about a $1,700 pot going to the flop. Well, king 6-7. Vic's hit top pair. And he's going to bet right out. That's 800.
But I bet you'll get a call. Yes.
Yeah. And Ed's going to call.
Chips.
And boy, is Ed going to need some help. Running spades or running 9s here, surely. Oh, and it's an ace. And I think he's going to really get
now
caught
he
up.
could, yeah.
Pot is about $3,300.
Hassan Habib.
And let's see what Vic does. He is going to bet
1,900.
$1,900 into a $3,300 pot. And it looks like Ed is going to quickly call, and we've got ourselves about a $7,000 pot here going to the river.
And because he called so quickly.
And the river's an
wow.
ace! Oh, man.
He raised that
And I think the rest of Ed's money's going in here.
The gaming
$7,100 pot.
TP first up and put me second up.
The only thing is if Vic knows that Ed has the ace, he knows he could get all his chips, but he's probably thinking,
I think
okay,
you-
what does he have and what can I get?
I think you put him on a weak king or something at this point. I mean, how on earth does somebody call the flop with ace 9 of spades? Well, he's counting on his chips. It's a $7,100 pot. And he's going to move the rest in, and Ed calls it off. And ace king is going to take it down there. And how much does Ed have left there? It looks
Well, he's not
like,
going to have anything left after this
it
hand.
looks like at least another 3,000 to 4,000, I would say.
7,000.
He's got about 6,000 in front of him. So Vic moved all in for 7. Ed made the call. That's about a $19,000 pot, $12,000 on the River Street. In essence, a $6,000 bet and a call by Ed. And hey, what are we going to say? I mean, the flop, obviously, aren't a lot of people that are going to call there with ace 9, but that's just another great example of how hands that can get dominated. If you hit your hand and the other person hits your hand, you can lose a lot of money, and that's
Right.
what happened there. Case ace on the river. Wow.
What happened here?
And now Vic's handing him money to loan it to him for the moment until he goes to his player's bank, gets money, or sends
Yeah.
a marker out.
That is an
Chips.
unbelievable hand.
Raised to 200.
Yes.
Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. And people are a little bit confused by that, Shirley. That means that That email server is on thebike.com. And the email address is live@thebike.com. Maybe, yeah, I guess you had to be there for it to be fun. So, 878 here on the flop.
400.
Now, the pot was limped around here, and I believe that Vic is bet 400 here with pocket threes, and he's going to take it down. And I think that I think actually Yosh straddled there, Shirley. So that was even a little bit of a bigger pot.
Big blind there.
So Vic won probably at least $10,000 from Ed that hand.
Yeah.
He's probably has maybe 20,000 in front of him now. Unbelievable. Button now is in seat 8. Ed's got King Jack of diamonds. He limps in. And Ali's got Ace Queen. He's going to raise it up. He's going to raise it to 400. Now look at Simon. Now Simon plays a lot of hands. We haven't seen him much tonight. He's got Ace 7 of spades in the small blind. But Simon is fairly familiar with Ali, and he knows that Ali plays pretty solidly, and Simon folds. But Ed's going to call.
2 players.
And we're heads up. King Jack against Ace Queen. 9-10-4. Ed checks. And Ali checks right behind him. Turns a jack. That gives Ed top pair, but he checks it. Now Ali's got the straight draw. The river's a 10. And it's just going to get checked down there. And Ed takes it down there with a pair of jacks. Well, the thing about Ali is he's pretty tight, but sometimes he can be a little bit passive.
Really?
Yeah. Button is in seat 9 here. And looks like this one's going to get chopped down.
Raise it 4.
Excuse me. Seat 1 is raised here. I'm sorry. Yosh is going to raise with Ace Jack out of the small blind. It's just between the blinds. Vic's got Queen 9 of diamonds, and he's in position. But he is not going to play it. Yosh takes it down. Now, Yosh was telling me, again, he looks spiffy. He was at the American Music Awards last night.
Okay.
And he went to several after parties, he was saying.
And what, he didn't go home?
What do you mean to imply by that?
Kidding. Well, because you're trying to explain why he's dressed up.
Oh, let's see.
When I see injustice, I speak up.
Like that explains why he's dressed up.
I see. We get an Ace 9 over there for Simon. He just limped. Late position. And check. Limped around here 4 ways.
4 players.
And we've got a $400 pot. Ace 5. Now Yosh has got a pair of 5s, but Simon's flop trip aces.
And Ed has a flush draw.
And
so
Simon
could actually get some money here from Ed.
He's going to bet 250. And you look at this. Yosh calls with King 5.
3 players.
And Ed is called with the flush draw. Pot's over $1,000 now. The turn's a 3. Ed checks. Let's see how hard Simon pushes now.
I'm sure he won't get a call from Yosh.
Well, if he's fired 2 times here, he's going to bet again. Bets 800, a little under the size of the pot. About an $1,800 pot, 800 to call. Yep, Yosh is going to fold. Now, Ed's going to call with the diamond draw, but it can't be the 9 of diamonds here. And here we go to the river, and the river's a 10. He missed. Let's see if Simon... and Simon actually just checked behind him. And obviously he would not have gotten called if he had bet, but I would still wrap.
So now Ed's probably thinking his Ace 9's good. Why can't I win with my Ace 9?
Simon takes down about a $2,000 pot. So right off the bat, we've had a couple of big pots. Button is over there in seat 4. Looks like it's a collection pot here, Shirley. Again, we've said that it's a $15 per person per half an hour
Correct.
collection in this game. Person that wins the collection pot, if the pot is over $500, pays for the collection. Now, this flop was actually went around to the blinds and they chopped it, which again I always find a little bit strange in a collection game.
Well, in a big game too.
Yeah, in a big game. But I guess if Ed just wants to chop, they'll let him chop it. So.
Well, like we said, I mean, the money doesn't mean that much. Because if I was sitting in the game, it's like $150 in blinds. I want to go for that. I want to take it.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
want to play.
Now, did Action Joe win? It looks like he's out of the game there in C3.
Already, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he hasn't locked it up, then maybe that means that Jesus is coming. I know Jesus is in the room and Hassan's in the room. So maybe one of those players.
Yeah, 200.
It looks like it is
Button raise 2.
raised here by Ed. He's going to raise it to 200 on the button. He's got pocket sevens.
4 players.
Hey, look at that. 3 other people call, so we've got an $800 pot here. Go to the flop. 10, 4, 3. Not that bad for pocket sevens. And it
No.
looks like he's got the best hand here. But I was going to bet here with a pair of 4. Simon's open-ended.
400.
So he bets half the size of the pot, Avo does,
Time.
with his pair of 4s. And let's see what Simon does here in between. He's got backdoor spades as well. He's going to call. And Ed calls. Ed just calls.
3 players.
So the pot now is $2,400 to the turn.
What was it? 9 of spades.
Ed is still in the lead here, but he's going to need to dodge some cards. Turns a 9. And the 9 was just exposed, Shirley. 9 of
Right,
spades
the
was
9 of
just
spades
exposed.
was.
And Ed's hand is still good. And let's see what happens here. I believe the action's on the Avo in seat 7. It's a $2,400 pot. It gets checked to Ed. And Ed's going to bet. Ed, give him credit. He's going to bet 1,000. But that's really not that big. 1,000 into a $2,400 pot. 3,400, 1,000 to call. And Simon is not going to chase here. And Ed takes it down.
Nice architects
You ask him how many kids he's got?
Which you really going in.
And Ed is always looking nice, too, right? Suit,
Yes.
suit and tie.
You got 10 on
Ask him how many kids he's got.
Ooh. The ones that he knows about, not the ones.
I know he pays $10,000
Yeah,
charge
they need
up on the
120
month.
for
Let's
the,
figure out.
I'm afraid to ask.
No, we don't have anything. I'm afraid to ask.
Actually, Timmy should take that seat when he gets there. So how many do you know of?
Button has moved over here to seat 6.
6-year-old.
Did Yoshi say that he has 6-year-old triplets?
I didn't know that neither.
Yeah.
That's why he always makes sense.
Yeah. I would guess so.
Button's going to be over there again in Mike Wu's hands. And Simon is first to act. He's got a little suited connector. He's going to come in for a limp. 2 pink chips. Pink chips are $50 chips. And Yoshi's going to put 4 white chips in the pot out of seat 1. He's going to raise to 400. He's got ace-queen offsuit.
Come on, man.
Action's over to Vic Park here. I don't know if he realizes the action's on him.
Oh, I thought I was out. Sorry.
Yeah, he's going to fold. Ed has got 10-9 offsuit. The action's on him. Looks like he's more interested in ordering scotch right now, and he's going to make the call. And we've got 4-way action here. Ali is in there, too. Is Ali? Actually, Ali is folded. We got 3-way action. And Simon calls $1,200 pot, Yosh the pre-flop raiser. Flop comes 9-8-3, and Ed's got the best hand, the top pair. See how Yosh plays it. $1,200
See how
pot.
Ed plays it.
Well, Simon's first to act, and he gets a piece of it, too.
600.
And hey, Simon's going to bet right out. I don't mind the play at all. He's going to bet 600. Yosh folds, and Ed is going to call.
2 boys and a girl.
And the pot now
Combination.
is $2,400 here. Turns a deuce. Check, check, and
They
the
both
river's
checked.
a 3.
9.
And again,
And
Shirley,
then they checked
yeah,
again.
well, unfortunately for us, we've had a little stint of this on the show the last couple of weeks where we've got some combinations of people that just won't bet against each other. Apparently Simon and Ed is one of those combinations.
Get it set up, please.
I mean, it's very frustrating for us, but there's just nothing that we can do about it.
Right.
The people don't bet
Well,
their
I mean, it
hands.
happens at the tables.
Yeah, it
everywhere.
happens at the
doesn't
regular
just-
tables too. So, hey, it's live poker. It's real poker. You're going to see that in real life too. You know.
Right.
Spring chicken.
Raise it, make it 4.
Pocket queens here.
You're not much older than me.
Excuse me.
You're older than me.
Mike Wu is raised here with King 10, and Avo, he's got pocket queens. He's just going to
He
smooth
just
call.
called.
Listen, respect.
Just smooth calls with the queens. $800 here, heads up, and look at this, trip queens for Avo. And it goes check,
They
check.
both checked.
Turns to 7. Now Avo fills up. And now Mike's going to bet.
600.
He bet 600 here, so Avo's laid the trap, and he's caught a perfect turn card, too. He cannot be beaten by a flush. But
But
unfortunately,
he might be putting Mike on a flush draw, so he might just flat call.
and he does. He's in
He just
position, and he
flat
just
call.
calls. And the river is an ace, but again, it doesn't give Mike anything.
No.
And unfortunately, he has not hit anything. And he's
He's
going to bet here
Take
again.
a stab at it.
800.
He's going to bet 800 here.
1-5.
800 into about a $2,200 pot, surely. So it's a pretty weak bet here on the river.
5 white. 1-5. Or you know what? Give me 5 ones. Do you want 5 ones? How do you want it? Doesn't matter.
And it looks as though Avo is going to grab some chips.
Give me those whites.
He's going to raise it up.
Is it 2,000 more? And
Yep.
we know Mike's not calling.
No.
Raise. 2 more.
Time for the acting job here. Well, we're still in the hand here, but I believe that Mike is going to fold. Again, he's got King 10, and Avo's got pocket queens. And there it is, the fold.
There we go.
Yeah. Again, we are here live, streaming live cash games. We do it every Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 Pacific time. Tonight is our usual Poker Blue Whale Night.
Which just happens every
$5,100 no
Wednesday.
limit, sponsored by Poker Blue. If you want to go to Poker Blue, if you sign up with Poker Blue and you deposit $100 at their website and you play any 1-2 limit game or higher for 4 hours or any no limit game, you qualify for their Big Fat Weekly Free Roll, which happens on Sunday afternoons. And if you win that free roll, you get a choice of a seat at the main event of the World Series of Poker, a WPT seat, and I think even some circuit events. I think they'll pretty much give you a seat wherever you want to go to, $10,000. And you can also, if you use the registration code BIKE, if you don't want to do that, you can come and get a couple of buy-ins on this show on Wednesday night. So check it out, Poker Blue. Now we're going to get into our first chip down here. Avo won that big pot from Ed. He's got Vic won that big pot from Ed. He's got $16,000. But Avo, I think he started off with a lot more chips than everyone else showed.
Well, he started with 5,000 like everybody else, but we started the show.
Right, we started the
after
show
the game
later.
had been going.
Right.
So he had a...
Yeah, and actually we're getting word that he actually had a $10,000 buy-in, which means that, well,
No.
anyways, Simon's got 7,000, Mike's got 6,400, and Ed rebought for 5,000.
Lines, please.
Button is in seat 9. Well, actually, we're getting word that Avo actually had a $10,000 buy-in, which means in this game, Shirley, the way that this structure works, you buy in for 5,000 max. Once you go broke, you can buy in for 5,000 again.
Right.
Then once you go broke again, you can buy in for 10,000.
But you know what? I bet you that it's not totally clear. I bet you that he bought in for 5 and then another 5 for a total of 10. No, he bought, so that means he's bought in for a total of 20,000.
Okay, so he's probably down about
So
1,000.
he's down.
for the
Well, we
night.
got that worked out.
5, 5, 10, 20 is the structure here for rebuys
How are you?
or for buy-ins.
Shall we just give everything we got?
Now, seat number 7 is going to raise here Avo to 600. He's got 9-5 off suit. And Ali's got pocket 9s in seat 8. Now,
Avo does not have
Excuse me.
9-5. He has pocket 9.
Pocket 9s. There we
We're
go.
losing it.
And Ali is folded.
1,600.
And look at this. Simon's going to come over the top. He's going to make it 1,600 with ace-king suited.
Jam up game, everybody just
So he's making a strong re-raise here with ace-king, and the action's back over to Avo. And it looks like Simon probably has, what, maybe 2,000 to 3,000 left there?
It looks like that. A little bit more than two. Oh, he's got.
About 3,000
Yeah.
left. And Avo, of course, he's covering the table.
Too bad it's all his money. Thought he was actually winning.
Well, for the show, he's winning. That's all we care about. He's up a few thousand for the show, but again, this game's been going on since about 4:30 this afternoon.
I got this last week too.
A raise and a re-raise.
I'm killed again this week.
And again, when you're trying to make this play with pocket nine, Shirley, he puts the guy in a range of hands. He has ace king in a coin flip, but what if he's got an overpair? Then I'm really screwed, right? And it looks like, you know, if he were to make a re-raise, I'm sure Simon would call the all-in. He only has about 3,000 left.
Right.
He's saying he's got about 2,600 left. The pot, I want to say, is about $2,500. So he would basically be risking, you know, if he put Simon in, you know, he would need to re-raise all in. And he'd be risking another, basically another $2,500 to win $2,500 plus the extra $2,500 from Simon, and he folds the pocket nines. And he shows him the ace king suited. Simon takes it down.
Yes, sir.
Strong, aggressive play there by Simon. And we're going to see a new dealer come into the box.
PD. Yes, sir. You're the only Oriental dealer that speaks English in this casino.
All right, real.
Button's going to move over here
English.
to seat 4.
You want a handful?
So now, actually, we add 5,000 on the Vic
I
stack.
gotta be honest with Shirley. I'm done trying to figure out these guys and with their rebuy structures and stuff. Because in this game, they make the rules up as they go along. I remember telling you that.
I know
then
you think that,
At the
but-
beginning, you were like, "Oh, I don't think they do that." Look what they just.
I don't think they did.
Come on.
Well, what's going on is that Vic had loaned Ed the money, and Ed had given it back right now, so we have to add 5,000 on top of his. He has 21.
Okay. Put it this way, in terms of being a no-limit game, I mean, they're trying to make it a max restricted game, but it's so big. Do you really think that anyone would really object to somebody bringing like more money on the table? I just don't think so.
I don't
mean, it's
know.
kind of
I mean,
like
I
playing
like
the,
to
it's like
think
playing
that-
the 300 to 500 game. Surely, someone says, "Well, I'm kind of coming from a broken table, but they don't want to allow the money. Can I, bring in 700 here on the table?" A lot of people at that table at 3 to 5 wouldn't object. You sometimes want more chips on the table to stimulate the action and get more
Yeah, but
money on the
rules are
table.
rules.
Rules
would
have been
object.
made to be broken. Kidding me?
Yeah.
Ed has limped in here on the button with ace 10 of spades.
Player.
And he open limped on the button with ace 10 of spades, so we got three-way action here. King 5. And it gets checked to Ed, and he checks it. He's got the best hand. Turns a 4, and now Avo has a pair of 4s.
Betting 100.
But Mike bets 100 with deuce 10. 100 into a $300 pot. And look, Avo, I mean, can Avo get involved here? No, not with 9-4. But Ed's going to call, and he has the best hands.
I think you do.
And the river's a 9. But again, Mike's probably going to need to bet here to win.
That's all Avo, 9-4.
And Mike really does need to bet here. Obviously, he doesn't think his 10 high is good. He's going to bet.
Betting 300.
He bets 300 now.
Oh, he called me.
Wow. And he folds. And Mike knows he stole that one. Even though that was a little pot, those are the types of,
Those are the ones that make a difference.
yeah. Stealing money, value bets. So we had an email here from Dave in Ohio. It says, Kenna took 7th place at $100,000 at the Monte Carlo Millions Tourney. Thank you for that, David. Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions?
Apparently it wasn't folded.
Now, Ed is on the phone. He needs to come off the phone if he's going to play in this
He
hand.
needs
'cause he's
to,
made
he
the
needs to
raise.
get away from the table is what he needs to do.
Okay, maybe we can get this dealer to stop the flop here. Oh, he's got off the phone. There we go. Ace, Queen, 5. And it looks like seat number 7 over there has got
His-
top and bottom, and he's bet right away.
Pair.
Well, it's an interesting pattern that we see here, Shirley, with these players that play extremely high levels and that are professional poker players actually bet their hands. And
Yeah.
look at this. Ed made the call with King 4. Turns a deuce.
Well, now he's picked up a big draw, so he's not going anywhere. He has a 3 or a heart draw.
Alva's going to bet 600
And
here.
we know
yeah.
Ed will call.
Ed's got the
He
nut
calls.
flush draw and a wheel draw, and unbelievable that he's called the flop. Let's see the river. The river's
Oh.
so hard. He's made the nut flush. Unbelievable.
That's
and when he,
Ed for you.
And when he turns this hand over, Avo's got to be bewildered.
Well, I don't know. I don't think that Ava will call.
Well, Ed's going to bet now.
This is a classic case. Ed fires when he has something,
And he bets a lot.
He has the nuts.
He's bet 1,500 here, which is about the size of the pot. Remember what we said against Yosh the first hand of the night?
Right.
He was betting that small
Small
amount,
amount.
and he had nothing. But, again, and Ed likes to show his hands anyway, so if he turns this one over, the guys at the table are just going to have to be absolutely bewildered. King 4
And
on the
Ava,
flop.
Ava's capable of making laydowns, so I would imagine that he could probably make this laydown.
Well, 2 pairs no good anymore. I mean, Ed's
Well,
bet
yeah,
a
no,
lot.
it's not the 2 pair.
Yeah.
He has the 5 of hearts,
Well,
so he does have a flush, but
Right, I mean, he's got the small
still,
flush.
when Ed fires
Right.
into you, you know you're done.
I mean, he's got the small flush. But what I mean by 2 pairs, I know it's ended up developing into a flush, but regardless if he had the 5 or not, I mean, he had a hand on the flop, and it's turned into absolute garbage here
It
on
has.
the river.
Yeah, he's going to get rid of it.
Now, let's see if Ed shows.
Yeah, I bet you he does.
Let's see if
Or
he shows.
maybe he'll only show the king.
No, he's
he
not
doesn't.
going to show. He's not going to show. Well, good for that. Good for Ed there.
Well, Avo's probably a little frustrated, but it was a good move. You know, I mean,
Good
he
laydown.
made the right laydown, right?
Remember, we talk about picking up tells, and it's mostly betting patterns, Shirley.
I had the
Mostly betting patterns.
not flush.
He said he's got the nut flush. Buttons moved over here to Avo there.
And Mr. Kukuru has joined us.
Kenberg. Used to call him Kenberg the Trapper, but he actually bet a nut flush last
You haven't
last
been
week.
telling me for 2-3 years. I'm glad to see you again. Nothing changed as usual. Only your hairstyle is changed. Nothing else.
And this one looked like it got folded around to the blinds. Or we get a raise there and you're not going to see a flop. So again, we're going to be doing 14 hours of non-stop poker tomorrow night. I wanted to ask the players, non-stop action. And if anybody wants to actually start a thread, I don't know if Kev Mapp, the guy who starts this thread, wants to do it tomorrow, or I could start it, or somebody else could start it. I will leave that to the viewers. But this is going to be a live stream of the show, or basically everyone that comes into the show will see the same thing. Unlike other days when we've done repeats where people have gone on and it started from the beginning for them. This will be a continuous thing. If you start at 2:30, you'll be 2.5 hours in the show. So it's going to be a continuous thread. Now we get a raise here. By seat 1, he had King Jack suited, and no one's going to call if the Avo, lays down the ace rag suited
Go to
there.
that section. Anyway, the WPT,
There's Yosh.
not WPT, but the SEC is subpoenaed a whole bunch of people asking for all kinds of documentation.
Buttons over here in seat number, looks like 9.
The SEC is subpoenaed them?
And Yosh is in the blind, and Ken Kukuru Berg looks like he's going to take his
It
first
wasn't
hand.
so much phony as it wasn't substantiated. Is that phony? They got to be nuts.
Got a raise here
Doyle
by
just-
Michael. He's got pocket
I don't
fours.
think it was. I mean, what's he doing that for? What's he need?
We at 400 to go.
Remember that day when that stock spiked?
Doyle Brunson
Simon's going to call. Queen 10 of
made
spades
an
on the button.
announcement.
3-player.
There was a group offering $700 million.
Trying to listen to Yosh here.
He was representing a group that was offering $700 million for the WPT, to buy the WPT. The stock shot up. What did you say it went from?
Well,
7 to 27?
Ken's checked his top pair here, Shirley. Playing a little trap. He gets checked around to Simon. He's got Queen 10, and he's going to bet it. Why not? He's
And
going to
then
bet 800.
the,
800 into a
they were
$1,200 pot.
you know, when that happens to someone, there's an offer.
And Ken Kukuru Berg, let's see what he's going to do. He's going to make the call.
You gotta have proof.
I'm sure Mike Wu is going to be out of there.
And you don't want to get in heads-up trouble with you guys.
And-
Pot is now
and
$2,800.
now the WPT
Turns
says
a 9, and now Simon's hand gets stronger. He's open-ended
they
with the
didn't have
pair.
any, you know, any way to, like, substantiate
And,
the offer.
and Ken Berg checks again.
Well, somebody did.
And Simon's going to bet here.
Betting 1,500.
He bets 1,500.
And he doesn't look like Ken's trapping. It looks like he's just
Yeah, he's
check
just
calling
check
and hoping
calling.
his hand is good.
Check calling here, $3,000 on this street. And we've got over a $5,000 pot. Here we go to the river. And the river's an ace, and Ken makes aces up.
That's what I think. I thought
And let's see if Ken can value bet here, Shirley. Because, you know, if you're going to check, and he's going to bet it. I like the bet here at the end. It's a third heart. He's going to bet 2,500. He played it kind of like he was on a flush draw anyways. And he bets right into the third suit. And Simon is not going to call.
No.
And, you know, from what we can see, we know Simon wouldn't have bet the river. There's just no way. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It's coming from whatever, you know, you gotta show the documentation.
I know.
Ken Berg takes it down. First hand of the night.
NYC.
So again, any volunteers out there? People that think it might be a good idea to have that thread go up? It's going to be really interesting because a lot of people have come on to the show late, and that show with Greg Raymer to start off tomorrow is a good one.
You mean that people are like newer viewers that might not have seen an older
Older.
show?
I mean, that was like the third week of the show. I don't even think you had been doing the commentary at that point, had you?
Yeah, I started from the beginning.
Did you?
Bart, give me credit, okay?
Oh.
Yes, I started from the beginning, but he came in on a Friday or something like that, and I wasn't here. See, I don't show up for Greg Raymer neither.
Ed has raised here with King Jack of
And then
clubs,
he made a statement based on somebody
and
else's
he is
statement.
going to take it down. I thought that you had started a couple weeks later on.
No.
Look what I have to put up with. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
That moves over here to seat 3,
And then it came down to what?
Ken Berg. Mike Wu over there in seat 6. Fold, fold. Simon's going to limp in here with a little suited connector.
Raise 400 total.
And we get a raise here by Ken Berg. 400. He's got ace-7 of diamonds. Ed calls queen 9, and Simon's in there with 8-9 of diamonds. $1,200 pot. And if diamonds comes here, Simon's going to be in real trouble. And here we go with the flop. Jack 4-3.
No diamond.
Gets checked to Ken. He's going to bet, but no one hit this. And it looks like he's going to take it down. So good aggressive play there by Ken. He's going to take down that flop.
You know what happens is he got the.
So there's a look at Simon there in seat 9. Oh.
We're getting interviewed every day.
There we go. Yeah, did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Like, you know, they call him the godfather of poker.
Button's going to move over here to
I
seat
know, but
4.
he got into a groove where he just. Like,
Mike
every
Wu is
time
in the
he
big
come up,
blind.
he just
We get a raise here by Vic Park. Looks like he's got
really, like, thinking
either,
things
what is that, 8-6 of diamonds there? Yeah. And Ed's going to call with a weak ace, and we are heads up. Ed has the best hand. He's out of position. $600 pot. Here we go.
Yep.
Well, Vic's hit second pair here. King 8-5.
600.
Check. Vic bets, and he's going to take it down.
And Ed didn't call. He had an ace.
I know.
What
No
a
real draw.
surprise.
No real draw there.
Here you go, sir. Thank you.
So what's going on new in your website, Shirley? Poker-babes.com.
Pokerbabes.com. Nothing really. I'm kind of slacking this week.
Really?
I wrote Paul Darden profile, but I haven't fine-tuned it and got it up yet. So that'll be going up, and then I need to do Hassan's because I've been promising Hassan that I was going to get one up with him.
Paul Darden from the mean streets of New Haven.
Yep. He was so cool when he was here, you know? Just real smooth, like,
He was.
guy.
Ken Berg is raised here to 400 with King Queen offsuit, and he is going to take it down. Table's kind of tightening up here. And there's Mo, the No Limit host. He's talking to Ed there in seat 5.
Well, I mean, I just told her 3 times. RAO.
And going to get into the next hand here. Again, play's kind of slowed down a little bit. It always seems like, I mean, we'd love to have these guys on, Shirley, but it's always more difficult for the staff out here working with the big game. It's whether these guys are more demanding or just they have, you know what it is? It's like markers and big chips and, trying to get money, credit.
I don't know if that's, I mean, that's part of it, but I think, hate to make a generalization, but people with more money are more difficult to work with.
Really?
Don't you think? I think they are.
Mike,
They expect more, and I mean, I've worked in casinos a long time, and when I was a cocktail waitress, I remember dealing with the higher limit players.
Now, Mike Wu, he raised from the button. He made it 500 to go at ace queen. Simon called 6-7 of clubs. And if Ed makes this call, he's going to be in trouble. Because if he hits his ace, he's going to lose a big one. Here we go. Again, another example of a dominated hand. $1,500 pot going to the flop 3 ways. King 7-4. Now, Simons has the best hand. He checks. Ed checks, and Mike Wu's going to bet.
1,100.
He's going to bet 1,100 here. Let's see what Simon does. Is he going to want to get involved here?
Well, he doesn't have much, so.
All in for 14.
Yeah, he's going to make the call. He's going to make the all-in move here for 1,400. So now Mike for 300 extra. I mean, the pot now. Yeah, I mean, he's going to make that call.
Of course I'm going to call him.
Pot's about $3,700, 200 to call, and he makes the call. So Simon's going to need to dodge an ace or a queen here. Turns an 8. River's a 3, and he escapes. Simon's going to take it down there with a pair of 7s. And Ed says I had 2 hearts, but he didn't have 2 hearts. Do you think
No.
Ed would have flopped?
Ed wouldn't have folded with 2
a flush
hearts.
draw there on the flop? I don't think so.
Mike staying
There he is, Simon. Simon, I play almost every day now with Simon in the 30-60 limit game. A lot of action. A lot of action. Again, for professional poker players, I mean, if there weren't guys with a lot of money that like to kind of come down, screw around the casino, and have
Gamble it
fun,
up, yeah.
then there wouldn't be professional poker players, would there be?
That's right. I don't know. There's a lot of people that think they're professionals that kind of aren't very good.
chemical imbalance in my brain.
Limped around here. Collection pot. So if this pot gets over $500, which basically means 1 bet here, that person who wins the pot is going to pay the collection. 5-5-4 here on the flop. Ali's open-ended here in seat 8. And
Betting 500.
we got a bet here by Ed with ace 4. He's bet 500.
Every time you win, it's a collection pot, right?
Simon quickly points out every time you win, it's collection pot. And he looks like he's going to take it down there. So Ed is going to have to pay. Now, does he have to pay the collection because that bet counts in the pot, Shirley?
I don't think it counts in the pot. He didn't get.
Right, he didn't get called, so it was
Didn't
only
get called.
$400 in there before. So I believe that it is a collection pot again. And it is. We're getting confirmation of that.
I know. My fucking luck.
Catch anything to play. Nothing, absolutely nothing.
So the button's going to move over there to Ali in seat 8.
No, I never chop.
He only chops
And limped around to the blinds.
Only vegetables.
And Yosh is going to raise out of the big blind. Now, Simon's got king 6 of clubs in the small blind. We need to see Yosh's cards. Yosh has ace.
Yeah,
Looks like ace
9.
Well, he's raising. I mean, he was limped in the small blind, so he figures he has the best hand he does. But look at this. Simon's got top pair. I mean, I'll make a raise with ace 9 heads up against the small blind when I'm in the big blind.
Yes.
And Yosh is going to bet 500. And let's see what Simon's asking him. How much more do you have? Oh, just got about 3,000 left. I got to tell you, I've played with Simon for a long time. I don't think he's laying this hand down. Especially heads up here. I just don't see it. Yosh has bet 500, and Simon has announced raise. He's going to make it 1,000 more, so 1,500 straight, and Yosh folds. Simon takes it down. Well, actually, I haven't seen Simon play a lot of No Limit on the show. I think this might be the first time. Well, he's played in the.
Well, he played the heads up,
played the
right?
heads up, right? But from what I've seen so far, I mean, I know he likes to give action, but I mean, him even folding that ace 7 of spades in the blinds to Ali's raise about a half an hour ago. I mean, to me, that's kind of a no-brainer laydown, but for him, I was thinking, wow, he laid that down? Because these guys, I mean, they come here to gamble.
Yeah.
It's a gamble fest.
Well, you said that he plays with Ali a bit, so
Yeah.
I hope to make his decision for him.
They stick this right up to our butts. Why can't it be
Raise,
about
400 total.
Raise here. Raise here by Mike Wu. Ace King's clubs. Going to make it 400 to go. And we got a call here by Ken Kukuru-Berg with 10-3 suited. Ace 4-10. Well, I was thinking that maybe Ken knows that Mike is tight and he could represent an ace here. Let's see if he makes a check raise. Maybe Ken could represent an ace here, and that's exactly what he's done. That's exactly what he's done. He's made the check raise, thinking that Mike would lay down a hand like pocket kings with this type of flop. Little does he know, though, that Mike has ace king. So Ken has check raised it, and Mike is in position. Ken check raised the minimum, $400 bet. He's made it 800 total. And I figured, I thought that that's why Ken made this call with this kind of inferior hand, Shirley. Sometimes, you feel like, well, why am I making a call against a player that's raising with only good hands? Because sometimes you can represent an ace. Turns a queen.
Especially with Ken's reputation, because, he has one for being
Ken
a tighter
checks,
player, too.
And now look at Mike's hand. He's got the nut club draw. He's got a gut shot to the jack, and he has top pair. And Mike is going to bet. I think Ken is going to be done with it now. $1,800 bet, yeah.
We see the river was a club, 7 of clubs.
And that's exactly, I think, what Ken was thinking there. That maybe if I can represent, see if I can hit maybe some sort of hand, or represent top pair. And a player like Mike Wu, with my reputation, he'll lay it down to my, say, check raise.
Sell. Home phone number is 949.
Button is moved over here to Yosh and seat
So Yosh is given the whole world out there someone's phone number.
We got a chip count here. So Vic Park, he's leading the table with 21,000. Avo at 19,000. Ed has made a little bit of a comeback, Shirley. He doubled through there against...
Well, he bought in and he rebought, so he's got a little bit of money.
You can see some of the other numbers just kind of middling around there. We had a raise here.
Mike's not doing so well.
Raise here by, I believe it was by Yosh with King Queen offsuit on the button. And the call here by the big blind and the under the gun here. Deuce 5-7 with a couple of spades.
We're working.
Yep,
There we go. Nope.
And Vic is going to bet $1,000. Look at Vic's hand. He's going to make a strong semi-bluff. He had a flush draw, and he was open-ended.
387.
And he bet 1,000, and he's going to take it down.
60.
Look at this. Looks like Barry Woods is on the bankroll. On the thread. Looks like we got a new poster here to the forum. Want to welcome a couple new people. Rika Kazak is talking about Ed,
You're going up to
and
Big
basically I
Bear
think that
this
he made the point that
But you know what? That place we stayed at, it's too far away from everything.
I mean, everyone would love to play with Ed, but when you're talking about it, sometimes like if you're going to take a 70 or 75% of the in edge all the time, you inherently need to have a bankroll because you could still
Right.
go broke over the long term.
Right.
If I'm continuing to take every day, I take a 75% edge. But sometimes the stakes continue to go up and up and up. Or if I run bad, I can still inherently go broke. You know, if that's what if you think you've got a 2-to-1 edge against Ed here. Now we're heads up 7-10 against 4-10.
Yeah, if you even stay at a hotel or something.
Flop comes King 5-6,
Yeah, it's usually part of it. There's sometimes those
and
condos that are close to the thing.
Simon
You know,
is
they
going
call
to take it
them
down. He
ski outfits.
bets 250 there.
One move. Six line, sir.
And there you go. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Right.
even,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know what you're
75-80% of the time, you're going to win. But
But you could have a couple bad sessions in a row.
Button's going to move over here to seat 4. It's just sometimes, I mean, you're inherently going to... He's got a ton more. He's got so much money. He's got a ton of money
Right.
that, you know, it's just sometimes inherently he's going to bust you. You know, and I challenge a lot of people to think it would be so easy to come down and beat this game. Well, you better have a lot of money backing you up. 4-way action here, limped around. Ace, deuce, 3 with a couple of diamonds. Simon has a top pair, and he's going to bet 350. Vic's got a gut shot to the 4. We kind of call that, what would you call that, a good gut shot, Shirley? Because if the
Yeah, I
4
guess so.
comes,
He
he's
has
got the top end of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Someone else has a 5. He has them beat.
But he laid it down there. And the button has moved here to seat 6. Mike Wu on the button. Big blind is over there in Simon's hands.
Raise 400 total.
We get a raise here by Vic Park. He's going to make it 400 to go. He's got ace rag, ace 3 off suit. Mike Wu calls with 10-9 of spades, but Simon in the big blind's got the real hand with ace king. And I think he's going to re-raise. He has announced re-raise here. And he's counting out his chips. Looks like he's got about 5,000 in front of him. Again, the white chips are $100 chips. Pinks are 50s.
1,000 more to call.
And he's going to make it 1,000 more to call. Vic was kind of just on a steal here. And I don't know if Mike can make this call because, again, this is... He's got an... Well, he's going to make the call. I mean, he's got a hand that's a drawing implied odds hand. But I don't know if him or Simon has enough money in front of them to make this call pre-flop. Here we go with the flop. King 6-3, so flush draw against top pair. Let's see what Simon does. The pot is about $2,800. If you were to move in here for $4,000, it would be about a $6,800 pot, $4,000 to call. I don't think that Mike would be getting the pure odds of 2 cards to come just with the flush draw. But he's not going to move in. It looks like he's going to bet $2,000. But in essence, Mike knows he's only going to be able to see 1 card here. And that's what I was saying. That's why sometimes and he's going to move all in. But Mike's going to move all in, it looks like, here on the semi-bluff. And Simon's going to call. I believe that Simon has said call. Simon only has about 2,000 left. He bet 2,000 on the flop. Mike moved all in. It's an $8,000 pot, $2,000 for Simon and call. I can't imagine he's going to lay this down. And he does make the call. And they might run a deal here, as what we sometimes would commonly do here in high no-limit play. It's a flush draw against ace-king. And I think, how many times are they going to run it? We'll explain to you again what this means after. They're going to run it 3 times. First time turns an 8. Mike's got a straight draw now, and the river's a 9. Simon wins the first one. Turns a 7. Mike's got another straight draw. River's a king. Simon wins the second time. And here we go. Turn is a 10. Mike's got more outs, so the river's a spade. And Mike wins the third time. So Simon's going to win
No, this is what you do. Listen to this.
2/3 of the pot there,
Just match that.
which is going to be about $6,600 because the pot was about $10,000.
No, Mike. You keep your
Now, the reason why players run the cards multiple times is to reduce the variance. In the old times when No Limit Hold'em, was kind of like a home game in a back room, or sometimes if it was going in a casino, the game would break when somebody went broke. So they'll run the cards multiple times, again, to decrease the variance, and it does not affect the expected value whatsoever. Basically, they ran the cards 3 times, and they split the main pot into 3 separate pots. So Simon won 2 out of the 3, and Mike won 1 out of the 3. If they had split it into 2 pots, if they had run it 2 times, they would have split it into 2 pots. And actually, Mike would have won the first 2 times. He would have won everything. So instead of just running it once, you run it multiple times, and it sometimes will decrease the variance on, drawing hands. And again, Simon there with ace-king, he's probably, off of the top of my head, a little under a, 65% favorite, 65-35 or 60-40 between those numbers, with 2 cards to come heads up against a flush draw. So the more times you run the cards, the more times that Simon will win that pot, at that level. Let's call it 62 or 63% of the time. I hope I didn't make that too complicated for everyone who are not familiar with running the cards multiple times. Now, Yosh is raised here with pocket queens. He's made it $500 to go. And he is going to take it down.
Small blind, big blind, please.
So we got a couple of emails here. We had the email from Rich Conboy.
He's a friend of mine. He's coming into town this weekend.
Well, he was talking about how do you fold 9-9 in that spot. I don't know exactly what he was, which hand he was talking
It was
about.
9-9 versus ace king. It was seat 7. Avo had 9s and Ali had ace king. Do you remember? Avo had
You mean Simon had ace king?
Simon had ace king and Avo had 9s.
Okay. 3-way action here. Well, he folded it pre-flop.
Right.
And look at this. Ken's flopped the nut flush, and he's a trapper. But remember, last week he bet the nut flush. Well, this time he's going to check it. And it gets checked around. Turns an 8. See if Ken puts some money in now. Pot was limped around.
Betting 250.
Ken's checked it again. Actually, let's see here. Did Simon come out and bet?
Yes, he did.
And Ken just calls.
He just called.
Just calls, so he's playing the trap game. And the river's a deuce, and look at that, Shirley. A double paired board
Right. Ken's
with
hand
the
is
flush.
still good, but that's scary.
My goodness. If Simon had been betting out here on an 8, if he had an 8, he would have the best hand. But Simon's going to check.
Flush, but I didn't bet it.
Ken checks behind him.
So you don't remember that hand?
I do remember that hand. I think.
Yeah, because Simon didn't have that much left after, behind. So
I think the point.
No, I heard,
Well, I think what Rich Conboy said is you have the guy covered 6 times over for $1,000. See a flop and make the decision then. But I think the reason why that
if you called
Avo-
1,000, right?
Yeah, Avo folded that was because he pretty much knew that Simon was committed to the hand.
Right. If he had called it, he was going to have to call the rest of his chips.
Right. So I mean, there's no move. If you guys are, if they're both really deep, well, then he can either call at that point or sometimes go back over the top.
Right.
But he knows that all the money's probably going to go in.
Right.
I mean, Simon's the type of player that's going to call with ace king on a dry flop anyway. So.
Right. But with money invested, I don't know. I might have made that call.
We get an email here
Or all in. One of them.
by Matthew Woodcock that we'll get to in a second.
money back, too. Yeah. No, it's okay.
It's the same question he actually posted on 2+2. We just haven't got around to answering it yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He said, I play mostly 1020 or 1530 online. I've heard that online play is tougher than live play. What would you think 1020 or 1530 online would relate to in live play? Love the show. Keep up the good work. Well, the problem with that question is that, you know, just because you go up in stakes doesn't mean that the play is any tougher. So you can't say, well, 1530 online means it would equate to 200, 400. Well, a 200, 400 game in a casino might be easier than some tough 1020 game.
Right. I mean, it's always situational. And
Yeah.
I'm wondering where he's playing online if he thinks those games are tougher. Online players are just absolutely horrible.
Oh, I think you're going to take some flack for that one.
They are. They are overall. I mean, of course you're going to have some good players, but overall they're bad.
Limped around here. We got four-way action. I find that the games live are easier than they are online. I mean, that's
Don't you
my
think? You
personal
don't think
feeling.
that online players are horrible?
And here we go. 7,
You must, because you still play online.
deuce 4. Ken Berg's flop top 2 pair here. And he checked it.
Betting 400.
And Yoshi's going to bet with pocket 6s, so Ken is playing the trap again. And he's just going to call. Well, he's got top 2 pair. It's not a super draw heavy board. But you'd think sometimes he'd learn his lesson, surely, about trapping. And here we go to the turn. Turn is an 8. Yoshi's picked up a straight draw now. And now Ken is not going to check to Yoshi. He's going to bet. He's going to bet 1,000. And email here from Jew Hefner. He says, is this a cash game?
I
Excuse
guess
me.
he just can't believe that the
Oh, this is Mike Siegel. Okay, I don't know which one his name is. And look at this-
Michael.
Michael Siegel, okay. And Yosh folds there. Is this a cash game? The guy chases and chases, and the heart flush. With the 1 king, a heart there, and he
He
makes it.
just can't believe that somebody would play like that.
Welcome to Live with the Bike.
Yep.
Look at this. We've got an email here from David Uwano from Reykjavik, Iceland. Thank you for the best show in the world. Just wanted to say hi to you guys. We in the Icelandic Poker Club watch you every night. Best regards from the land of the ice and snow. And,
They like Mike's pink shirt.
yeah, they like Mike's pink shirt, P.S. Well, I wonder if that guy knows our other viewer there from Iceland that often emails us on the show. Pod is limped
Is it
around here.
Stefan? That was one of them.
Stefan. 6-way action. David, can you get me a date with Bjork? And here we go to the flop. Ace 3-5 with a couple of
You really
diamonds.
like a variety of women.
Mike's got a flush draw. And Simon's got top pair. It's a $600 pot, and I believe we have a bet here by Ed. Ed's bet out. It was Queen 5. Seat 6 is going to fold. Oh, excuse me. Seat 6 is going to call with the flush draw.
Well, you go ahead too. Yeah, what the hell? You know, Kenny?
Seat 6 is called. Seat 9 is called, and Kenny Berg is called.
Yeah, we don't have
Yeah.
the Jack 8 of diamonds
Yeah.
up on the board.
Yeah.
That's a flush draw. That's seat 6.
Yep.
4 player.
And we got 4-way action. Here we go to the turn. The turn's a 4. And look at this, Ken.
That's Ken.
He's got the, he's chasing the gut shot straight, and he's made it. He's got the nut straight. Pot is about $2,200. Ed checks. I think Mike is checked, and let's see if Simon's going to bet here. He now has top pair with an open-ended straight draw. It's a $2,200 pot. And he's going to bet. He's going to bet 1,000 into a $2,200 pot. And look at Ken. I don't think he can believe it. He's got 6-7 over there. $3,200, 1,000 to Ken Berg. How much does he got left in front of him? And let's see what he's going to do. And he's going to raise.
Make it 2,000 total.
He's going to raise the minimum. He's going to make it 2,000 total. Now the pot is 5,200, and that gets Mike off of the diamond draw. And the question is, can Simon lay this down? He's got top pair with an open-ended straight draw, but you got to think that Ken has him beat, and he's going to make the call. He's going to make the call, and the pot's about $6,200. Here we go to the river. The river's a 5. Simon's going to check. It's a $6,200 pot. And let's see how much Ken Berg is going to value bet here at the end. Again, how much does he have in front of him? He's got $6,000 in front of him, Shirley. He's making a $2,000 bet into a $6,000 pot. I think I might have pushed a little harder.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Simon called your raise on the turn.
Right.
He bet the turn. I mean, are you scared that Simon would be
What
check
can-
raising you with the full house?
What can Simon beat here? Not much.
Not much. Well, I mean, his kicker actually plays against the board, but he can't beat a real ace.
It plays against the board.
I mean, his kicker plays, but he could only beat.
He's got
actually,
the worst.
wouldn't
He
even be
has
able
the
to-
worst kicker because
Yeah,
if someone has the
ace-deuce
ace deuce,
would
they
be
have a straight.
Right.
Besides the 3 there, but the
He can't beat a 5 now.
right.
He can't beat a 5. Ken has got the straight. It's an
He
$8,200
can't beat much.
pot. It's $2,000 call. Remember, when Ken shows strength, Shirley, he actually raised the turn. I was going to say, he's not going to trap there and let Mike in with the diamonds behind him. He actually raised the turn. And like you correctly pointed out, there isn't a whole lot that ace-6 can beat.
No.
But he's going to make the call. He makes the call, and Ken Kukuru Berg's going to take down a $10,000 pot there.
7 high straight.
Wow.
You don't have to-
Would you even be able to say Ken Berg without saying Kukuru?
Good hand there, Ken. He's got the straight. Takes it down.
So we have a few emails here, which is really, a few of them made me laugh, which is one was from UGA as the team, who sends us emails quite a bit, and every time he sends us, Bart says, where is that?
University of
Yeah,
Georgia.
where's the University of Georgia?
Yeah. Athens, right?
Well, that's what he wrote.
Yeah,
Bart,
yeah.
I know you're going to ask. University of Georgia's in Athens. So he was talking about PokerStars and the glitch in their software about how if you push in, you can do a rebuy even if, you haven't lost the hand yet. So
Really?
yeah, you can add more money to your stack.
Yeah. And email here from Judd. Says, will you be replaying the Legends of Poker media charity event? Good God, no. Are you kidding me? That was about the most boring thing we had ever done. Again, our schedule tomorrow is to do the Greg Raymer show, the Bombshell show, 400, 800 limit hold'em, first Poker Blue whale night, and a show that we did a couple weeks back that was really exciting in 300, 500. And we got a raise here by Simon, and he's
Was
going to
that
take
the
it
guy's
down.
name that won it? Judd?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
And then, of course, we have to laugh that I need to... Barry sends an email
Barry
and
Woods
tells us
sent
that
us
I
an
have
email.
to teach Ed not to play ace rag.
Right.
But trying to drill that into Barry's head, and I think he's actually finally getting it.
Yeah. Email here from Mike Siegel saying
This
he
is Jay
enjoys the
Moon.
show. Jay Moon. Sometimes people have in their, from different
Right.
names
Well,
than what they signed
that
it
was
from.
so funny because the other guy's name is Hugh Hefner. Don't you get it? It's a joke.
Oh, I see.
But he signed his real name.
I see. So it seems like we've got, sometimes we've got a big pot every 10 minutes, and then these little pots are just kind of,
Yeah, and
people
they all
tighten
have
up.
a little bit of garbage here. We have 3, 4, 3, 4,
And they're
and
actually
5,
going to
7,
chop
and
it
they're
up into
done.
the blinds.
Say something.
Again, I got to tell you, if I'm playing no limit hold'em, I'm not chopping the blinds, especially in a collection pot game. I mean, what a better game when you can win the guy's entire stack
Right.
in one hand. Again, if you want to email us, you can email us at liveatthebike.com or follow the thread. Go to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Click on forums, Texas Hold'em. High limit, mid and high limit, pot limit, and no limit hold'em section. Simon's got ace-king here, and he's played it pretty strong all night. He's going to raise. In seat 9, he makes it 500 to go. Ken Berg's got ace-rag. I think he's going to fold. Now, Ed has ace-jack. Once again, a dominated hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he got, and looks like Ken's got pocket eights over there in C3.
Yes,
he
he does.
calls. So is Ed going to get in trouble here with the ace? He's going to re-raise, surely. He's made it $1,500 to go with ace jack. $500 raise by Simon. I'm going to think that Simon
And we
doesn't
saw
have,
Vic Park mucked an ace rag.
Simon doesn't have many more chips. I thought he was going to push there, but he just makes the call. He makes the call. And let's see if Ken makes the call. And Ken has made the call. And we quickly have about a $4,500 pot going to the flop three ways. Ed Shanazarian with the betting lead. Wow, 4-4-4. And Ken Berg has the best
Ken has
hand
to
there.
like that.
Simon's going to move all in. He's going to move all in. But the problem for Ken here is that if he calls, Ed in seat 5 is behind him, who is the re-raiser pre-flop.
Right.
He could have a higher overpair. Let's see how this plays out. It's a $1,500 push here by Simon. He's played the little stop and go. And look at this. Ken folds the pocket eights. He folds the best
What
hand.
the-
And Ed folds as well. Ed folds as well. And
What are you
Simon is
hoping
going to...
that? Yeah, and Simon's mad. Nobody called. But what is Ken trying to hit?
Well,
is he trying to make quads?
I don't think...
That's a great
I don't-
board for eights.
It is a great board for eights. I understand that.
But he was trying to hit a set. He thinks that maybe.
I think that if we take a look at Ed there in seat 5, I don't think... Let's see how many chips he has over there in seat 5. Can't quite see because of the dealer. He's got 11,000 behind him. And I think what Ken was thinking of, I think that what you could have done was called and see what Ed did behind you.
Right.
You could have
That
made,
seemed
you
like-
could have
seemed
made,
logical to me.
You could have made the call and then see if Ed re-raises me, now I've got to
Then
reevaluate.
you think, okay, right.
Right. But yeah, open, folding there. That's a little bit, a little bit tight.
I think I would have called.
Yeah, a little bit tight.
Hold on.
He did have the best hand.
I'll pay you later. How's that? Good. You need a note? No. No, I'll buy you dinner.
Now Ed's got pocket tens here in seat 5.
I took care of it, Simon.
He just limped in.
It's okay. I'll pay him later.
And look at Avo's going to raise. He's going to raise to 400. Do you think Ed's pulling the limp re-raise here? I think Ed might pull the limp re-raise here in seat 5.
Yeah, possibly.
He limped with pocket tens, and here it is. He's going to re-raise to 2,000. And Avo quickly folds. Ed has pulled the limp re-raise from late position with tens. And Ali's got pocket sixes.
Wow.
And he's in big trouble. He makes the call. Simon's got ace rag suited. I think it's time for him to muck this hand. Ed has pulled the limp re-raise. Avo's out of the hand in seat 7.
What do you want to do?
What
do you have?
I have a big pocket pair.
And Ali and Ed, like we said, Shirley, I don't think they necessarily will play against each other. But
Do you have a pocket pair?
But they might just run this one down. Ed says I have a big pocket pair.
I don't think they'll let us do that.
Okay.
And we've
Can
got
we
a...
chop the pot? No.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, we'll take all
I think
the
they're going to check it down. But Ed, unless he gets unlucky here, Shirley,
Let's go.
he's going to take down a big pot here. About a $4,000 pot. Again, for some reason, these two guys don't play against each other. King, Queen, 7 here. Turn is a jack. Ali needs a 6 here. The river's a 5. And Ed's going to take it down. Pocket 10s.
Bigger, you have a bigger pack. You brought me 1 point. I can be.
And there it is.
in that flop for sure. Finally, I catch a card after 3
Boy, Ed is dangerous, isn't he?
And you paid $2,000, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry, Ali.
Mind you, okay?
Unbelievable. Ed Shanazarian, he's on a real rush.
Times are low.
Collection pot coming up.
I shouldn't really. Because I think I'm tired of playing that when you're empty, man.
Buttons over here in seat 8. It's Ali.
That was a good donation.
And Ali keeps saying, that was your donation. That was your donation.
How many times I talked to you hit in that
400.
We got a $400 raise here. And Avo is in here with deuce 7. I think Avo raised, and Yosh called with king 9. And the flop comes ace 9 deuce, and Avo's bet, but Yosh has hit a second pair here. But Yosh
But
does
Yosh
not get
folds.
involved. Guess he was, the ace is the premium scare card for somebody, making a raise in late position.
Yeah, and Yosh makes a lot of late ends. So.
Yeah.
2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah. 120.
And we get a buttons move over here to seat 9. So
Kenny, you're big blind.
kind of been a rough night for Ali over there in seat 8.
Yeah.
It's a pretty tight game, but
And Mike Wu, he moved over there
yeah,
in
Mike
seat
Wu's
2.
going to move over to seat 2.
Get Jesus in the game.
He actually stopped by and said hi to me this afternoon. He said he was going to play. Wow. Head is folded here, and we get a limp here on the button. King 8 of clubs by Simon. Yoshi looks like he's going to complete the small blind.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
He's got, and we get a raise
Jack
here.
4 or King 4?
We get a
It's hard for me
raise
to see
here.
there. Jack 4.
I think by Ken Berg is raised here with ace 3 out of the blind, 400 more. And Simon calls. And we get a $900 pot here. And look at the chips in front of Ken Berg. King 10-10. Simon's hit top pair. And I believe Ken is checked. The action's over to Simon. He's got top pair here on the button. He's going to bet it. 600. And Ken is not
Ken,
going to
yeah.
play.
So who do we have that is actually action on this table? Ed?
Pretty much.
And that's where it
Ed.
ends.
Yeah.
Here, take the
Well,
button.
Simon is actually a lot of action.
That's what you
It's just
said,
he's
but
playing
I mean,
a
he's
little
been
bit
playing
tighter.
okay.
Yep.
Yosh has the button. He's drinking coffee. He must have. He's all wined out.
We've got a new player that's going to
Sounds
come
like
into
we're
the
getting a
game.
new player.
Get away from me. Get away from me, man.
He's coming into seat 8, and it's Peter. We're getting word it's Peter.
Peter.
Limp, limp, limp here. So Simon is limped in here. He's got ace 10, open limp with ace 10 in the cutoff. And we've got three-way action. Queen, Jack 7 with a couple of spades. And Kenny Berg's going to bet here with King, Queen. He's got top pair. Now Simon's got a gut shot with ace 10.
No one wants to play this game, man.
I don't play it like that. Here, I'll
And Simon's going to fold. Queen, Jack 7 on the flop.
The last, that's
And Ken takes it down.
Oh, I want to chase.
Dick's really taking it easy here. He hasn't gotten involved in many hands.
No, he seems
We'll
like he's
see
a
his,
pretty
like-
smart player.
Yeah. He does usually make one move before the night's over, so
Right.
you called it at 8:55, but I think last week it was more like 8:30, right? And he tried to bluff the
Yeah.
wrong person.
Vic Park makes a big move usually once a show in
Right.
seat 4, but he's been pretty quiet tonight.
300.
Abo's got King Jack suited. He's going to make it 300 to go in seat 7. And I believe Ken Berg, he's called on the button with King 7 suited. And
They're
King
all in
10
trouble.
is in
And
there.
King 10.
So 3 of the kings are out. Here we go to the flop 3 ways. 5, 6, 4. Well, Ken's open-ended, but Avo's got overcards and a flush draw.
Right.
$900 pot, and Avo checked it. And Ken checked it. Oh, the turn, it's a case king.
The last king.
The case king.
That's not Jack. That's not Jack 7.
Yeah,
oh, it
Ken-
is Jack 7.
Uh,
It is Jack 7.
No,
up
no,
there.
does Ken have...
It's Jack.
He's got a jack? Okay, he's got jack 7.
In our windows, it makes it
Yeah.
a little harder to see. I know it's real easy to read up on the screen.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a king, too.
And Vic made a bet here, and Avo just called that top pair with the draw, and Ken called with the open-ended straight draw. And here we go to the river. The river's a queen, and Avo's hand is good. And here we go.
He got called by two people. You think he's still going to put a bet in here?
Well,
We'll find out.
I want to say that the pot is about $3,000 right now. Yeah, it's about a $3,000 pot. And it gets checked to Avo, and he's going to bet, figuring his hand is good here. He bets $1,200. And he's going to bet $1,200 into that pot, so the pot's over $4,000, $1,200 to call. And Vic folds. He's going to make the fold.
Vic really is a good player.
Yeah, and Avo takes it down there. But sometimes, though, I mean, you look at Ken Berg, he was chasing that open-ended straight, but if a club came and it completed his straight, it would be no good. And you wonder
Right.
how much money he would have lost on it.
Well, knowing Ken, not that much. He's another one that plays pretty tight and
Yeah.
can make laydowns. So I'm not familiar with the new player. Are you familiar with the new player?
I am not.
Although
Peter
I
over
haven't
there.
got, I haven't got a great look at him. I
Seed
only
8.
got a look at his jacket. There we go. Nope, not familiar with him.
400.
Probably one of the people watching saying, I want to go beat this game.
Now we had a raise here by Yosh with ace-9. Avo calls with the same hand in the blind. And the flop comes 9-6-7. And Avo's checked, so both players have top pair. Yosh is going to bet 600. Let's see how Avo plays it. I think he's going to check raise here. He is going to check raise. Very interesting hand when both players have the same hand.
Yes.
He's going to make it 1,800 here.
And according to Kenna, the person in position should win the hand, but I don't see Yosh winning the hand here. Because
Well, the
Yosh
funny
plays
thing is,
passively.
yeah, well, Avo is not overly aggressive either. And when he's
No,
more
but
of a... he's
Yosh
more-
is even less aggressive.
That's true, but he's more of a tight, solid player, Avo. So when he check raises me, sometimes, I mean, Yosh quickly folded the ace-9. I don't necessarily know if I would have just done that quick, but we haven't seen a lot of moves by Avo. He hasn't
Right.
made big moves like Vic
Right.
Park.
Right.
Two different players, two different styles. Button's going to move over to seat 5. And Ali's now in seat 6. New chip count there. Well, Vic is still ruling over the table. Over 20,000. Avo. He's got about, what we have there is 18,000. Ken Kukuru Berg at 4,000. 14,000.
Yeah, he's made progress quick.
Ed's at 12.5.
And Ali's getting frustrated.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't Ali getting frustrated. That
Well,
was
Ali
C9.
is
That was Simon. Yeah, Ali is frustrated
He's
too.
frustrated at 2,200. He's in the bottom. Now, Vic Park's going to raise here. He's going to raise to 300. He's got Jack-9 offsuit. And you can tell that Ali is frustrated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he called $2,000 with sixes against.
Against Ed.
Against
yeah. I
Ed.
mean, that was a big mistake.
Yes.
Obviously.
If Ed's going to make it $2,000, you better believe that your sixes aren't good.
Yeah. Email here from Craig with a K, K-R-E-G. He says, do you sometimes show limit games 2040 or above?
We
Well,
try.
we did in the past, and you can check it out if you sign up for the archives. You can click on the archive banner, upper left-hand corner of your screen. We've done several 30-60 games, some 20-40 games. We try to do a limit game once a week. Now, I'll get to this at the end of this hand. Yosha's got ace-king here, and he just limped in. And it's going to be limped around. 10-10-8. And Yosha's hand is still good here.
300.
And Yoshi gets checked to Yoshi, and he's going to bet, and he has the best hand, and he's going to take it down. Wednesday used to be our limit night, Shirley, but that kind of got changed around since the Legends of Poker.
When we added the.
We've done, like I said,
line.
at least 5 or 6 30-60 games. We've done 20-40 games. Check it out on the archives. Now, normally we'll do like an 8-16 game once a week, either Monday or Tuesdays. And tomorrow...
That 30-60 game was really exciting,
Yeah.
though. We should bring it back.
Tomorrow, check out the Thanksgiving extravaganza, Live at the Bike extravaganza, because our third show will be 400, 800 limit hold'em. the third show tomorrow. That starts at noon and runs for 14 hours. So check it out. Constant streaming live cash poker. And we get a raise here, it looks like, by Peter. Got ace jack offsuit. He's gonna make it. He's gonna raise out of the blind. Makes it 300 more. Again, boy, you think for the host of a show he would know to put his cards in the window.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah, but it's just constant with him. And Ed's gonna make the call here, it looks like, Shirley, with King 7 offsuit. And he's got the top pair. King 10-3. Now Peter's got a gut shot with the ace jack. He's gonna come out and bet. He's gonna bet 400. And Ed says, make it 1,500. And usually when he shows this type of strength, you know he has it.
He has it, right. But this player, I mean, we aren't familiar with him, so...
Wow, and he's going to make the call. Unbelievable.
Wow.
And the pot now is about $4,000. And remember, he could only buy him for $5,000, so this is like a strict restricted buying game for him. Turns a
right,
7.
I mean, he's just committed half his chips.
And now Ed's mid kings up. And he's blown, and Peter's going to check, and Ed's going to bet 2,500 now. 2,500 into about a $4,000 pot. It's a $6,500 pot. 2,500 a call. And, you know, sometimes we kind of jam this down the viewers' throats for some people who are joining us for the first time tonight, that this game, when it starts, is a restricted buying game, Shirley. You only get 50 times the big blind.
Yes.
So really making big calls with the drawing
he just
hand.
sat down. He had 5,000, and he just lost a lot of his chips on that.
Yeah, over 50% of your stack.
Yeah, trying to hit a queen.
Yeah.
Or an ace, maybe. The ace would be it.
And there are different ways, and I always said it too. I mean, before people started really getting rebuy happy, now this game almost plays like after a couple hours. It almost plays like unrestricted. There's so many chips on the table. But when we first started the show, I said, if you take a tough player from the 200 game that's been playing restricted buy and no limit hold'em since it started to be spread about 2 years ago in a casino, you have to put them as favorites over the players in this game.
You would think he could beat these, right?
Because not only do these players usually play high mixed limit games like Deuce to 7, Banugi,
right?
They don't have a lot of experience in no limit cash games, and in restricted buy and no limit games, those games are usually all small games. They don't have any experience.
Right.
So
if they do happen to play no limit, then
right, it's not a
a
restricted game.
Right.
Right. We had a raise there.
Let me tell you something.
Took it down.
I'm not growing up.
You're not growing up?
No, you didn't know that? Am I grown up?
And Yoshi's saying, I'm not grown up.
Really?
Get 'em on. You're right. Now I'm going to play better.
Right, please.
I've been really playing bad today. I can't
Kenny,
figure
you
it
want
out.
your hand, right? You want a hand, right, Kenny?
You know, sometimes every time you shoot, your gun misfires. My gun's been misfiring today.
Please.
Hi, what are you doing? Come see me?
So we've got the button here.
Oh, you didn't come to see me? I thought you came to see me.
Limp here by seed 8. Limp. And we're going to see four-way action here. $400 pot. Yoshi's got ace-jack on the button, like you said. And look at this. Ken Kukuru-Berg, he flopped the full house.
Wow.
And let's see if he's going to check it,
He'll
Shirley.
check it.
Let's see if he checks it twice. Turns a 4. Yep. He's checked it twice. At this point, if you're Yosh, you think that your hand might be good with ace-jack. And the river's a 4. So anybody with a 6 now would have his hand tied. Now he's going to bet.
400.
He bets 400.
And Yoshi's the only one that can make a reasonable call here, and he won't make the call against Ken.
Because Ken probably wouldn't bet out with an ace here.
No.
You know. And Yosh wisely folds.
Poor Ken can't get any action. All
I
right,
gotta
Bart.
tell. I mean, the thing is though, if Ken could I mean, if he could go back and mix up his play, I'm sure some of these guys, study the archives. Again, anybody can subscribe to the archives and watch every show we've ever done. $14.95 a month gets you access to all of the action. If Ken started betting hands, let's say he came out and bet that hand on the flop, would you ever think the way that we've seen him play, he would have a 6 or a top the
No.
Absolutely not, right?
No.
There's no way. I mean, that's
not
some
the
of
way that he plays. I would put him on, if he came out betting on that flop,
Yeah.
I would put him on like 5,
Some-
8.
Yeah, maybe like a mid-pocket pair,
Right.
some sort of straight draw, something
Right,
like that.
a draw or a mid.
Yeah. I mean, that's why some of the best players mix up their game. We have a raise here by seat 6, raised it with pocket 10s, and he's going to take it down.
Okay, Bart, I'm looking at 2+2, and believe me, I'm not getting upset about it. Did I ever say that the online players are worse than the live action?
I think you said online players are horrible.
They are horrible.
Yeah.
What I was saying was, because the one guy said that online they play so much better, and I disagreed with that, but I wasn't saying that they play worse. I think that everywhere they play just as equally as bad.
Okay.
Either being in here or online, and I don't think that's what I said, but obviously that's the impression that I gave. I think online players, when you're sitting at a table, you can sit at a table and have 7 horrible players, just as much as you can in a brick and mortar.
Seat 8 is raised here with pocket jacks. Ed is going to call here with 10-5 suited, and I think Ali's in here with 6-8 of diamonds. So Peter's got the jacks, 8-5 deuce. Let's see if Ali's going to get himself into trouble here. He's got top pair.
He doesn't have many chips, so...
And look at this. Ed's going to bet here with middle pair. This might save Ali. Well, Ali is going to call. It's a $1,000 bet. Wait a minute. Now, is Ali going to raise?
1,000.
Ed comes and bets, and Ali, if he he's just going to call.
He just calls.
Well, now let's see what Peter does with the overpair.
He doesn't have many chips neither, so he just has to move in.
I mean, this is a short chip game right now for these guys.
They're all getting their chips in because Ed can't lay down the hand even though he only has a pair of 5s.
So he's going to move all in here, and it looks like that's for about $2,000. The pot's going to, if Ed makes this call, the pot's going to be about $8,000, $7,000 to $8,000. Let's see how much more it is here from Peter. Ed bet out 1,000 initially. 1,600 more. Okay. So that's a 1,600 more. Ed's going to call 1,600 more. He's put 1,000 in here.
But the pot's like $5,000, so...
Pot is,
What was it? 1,000?
It's a $6,000 pot, 1,600 to call.
Right.
And Ed makes the call, and Ali makes the call, and we've got over an $8,500 pot. And Peter's going to need to dodge some cards here to defeat the 2 pair. And we've got a little bit of a side pot. Well, he's dodged there. Queen on the turn. And the river here's a 7.
Doesn't help neither.
And Peter's going to take it down.
Jack's
He's going to take it all.
You have a better pair than I do.
Yep. And there it is for Peter.
There's a lot for one hand.
I'm going to double it through.
Everything goes to him.
Well, I mean, those are the types of hands that you figure, like, you come in and try to take one shot in this game, Sherlin. You get your hand in with an overpair to a ragged board. Ed's made a call with 10-5, and he spikes 2 pair.
Right.
I mean, that's what Barry Woods tells me sometimes. He's just like, you don't know what the hell Ed ever has.
Right.
He could be calling you with single pair all the way down. He might have called you with 7-3 suited. You've got aces. He had no draw. He called with a 3, and then at the end, what looks like a harmless 7 comes on the river, and you get busted.
I mean, a harmless 7, and he comes out firing a big bet.
Well,
you freaking lay your aces down.
That's...
Although, I mean, if Ed's watching this, he might be, if I ever got in a game with him, he might do that to me. Come out firing a big bet, make me lay down a big hand.
Well, the button is moved over here to Ed, and he's got ace rag suited, ace 5 of diamonds.
400.
I'm on tilt now.
$400 raise here by Ed. Seat 2 there had limped in with king jack suited. And he makes the call, and we're heads up. Ed, who's got the better hand against Mike Wu with king jack suited. And actually, I think Mike was the raiser, and Ed called on the button. So Mike has the betting lead. And Mike is bet here. He's bet $800 into a $1,000 pot with King Jack. And look at Ed. He's made the call with Ace-5 of diamonds.
What?
Wow. The turn's a 7.
He has outs now.
And Mike's going to move all in now. Mike's going to move all in. Well, yeah, I mean, a 6 would give Ed
six
the
will give you a straight
bottom end of the pot. It's a $2,100 bet here on the river. And is Ed going to make the call? He's got an overcard and an open-ended straight draw, and the river is a 4. Actually, it was a gut shot. Gut shot. The river's a 4. He didn't make it. He didn't make it.
That's sick.
But again, another great example of how you can easily go bust in this game.
Right.
I mean, I was actually talking with Hollywood Tony Caden, who played on the show last night. He was talking about how he used to play the $600 and the $1,000 game over at another casino across the way in town. And he said he was beating the game, but it was just too scary. After he won a pot of about $30,000 when some guy called him with what amounted to a pair and a straight draw. You know, he said, boy, I can't play in this game anymore. I just don't have the money, you know, to play in the game.
Right.
I mean, look at how that hand transpired. What if an ace had come on the river? How else are you supposed to play your King Jack? Now, obviously, he won.
Well, that's why it's so important to have a bankroll.
Right.
You had a flush draw?
Yeah, I did. I had a 6-8 diamond in the blue line.
Now, we have a raise here by Mike Wu, ace-queen offsuit. And look at Peter. He's got pocket kings in seat 8, and he's going to re-raise.
8-5. They come king.
He's going to make it 800. He's raised the minimum.
Queen 8-5.
And Mike, he's a good player. He's going to make the call in position. We've got about a $1,700 pot going to the flop. Oh, and there's the ace,
Yeah,
Shirley.
Mike hits right away.
See how Peter's going to play it
Can
with
Peter
kings.
get away with kings?
He checks it.
Last?
Checks it from up front. And
Wow,
Mike checks
Mike
right
checks
behind him.
behind.
It's a diamond here on the turn, and now Peter's got the nut flush draw. And let's see if he
It would
comes
be
out and
hard
bets
not
now.
to think, not to come out and bet right now.
I mean, was Mike checking to induce a bluff? Did he think that Peter might have been trapping him with an ace? Let's see how this one plays out.
Well, then again, wouldn't Mike bet in position with almost anything else besides an ace? I mean, if he had
Yeah.
tens, he would bet. If he
He's
had
gonna
any other
bet
pair, he would bet.
800 here.
If he had king high, he would bet.
He bets 800, which I think is almost like a little bit of a mini stop bet here. 800 into about a $1,700 pot. I don't know if he thinks his hand is good right now. And let's see what Mike does. The pot is $2,500. And here we go. He's going to raise it up.
There's 2,000 more.
He's going to make it 2,000 more. 2,000 more. Action's back over to Peter, and Peter only has the flush draw. Take a look at that shot.
I know. I really know.
Oh, wow. You think he's doing that on purpose? He's got to be doing that on purpose.
I don't know. 2,000 more here. So the pot now, I want to say, is about $5,300, 2,000 to call, and Peter's going to make the call. He's going to make the call, and he's drawing to a diamond or a king.
Diamond or a king.
And we've got about a $7,300 pot here going to the river. And if you're Mike, what do you think the guy has? And the river's a diamond.
Wow.
The river's a diamond. He's made a backdoor diamond draw. Unbelievable.
It's actually only around 250.
And he's got the nuts, Shirley. And he's going to move all in.
Did you get that?
He's going to move
Mike's
all
having
in.
a horrible night
He's going to
tonight.
move all in. It looks like about 5,000. So the pot now is about, it's about $12,000, 5,000 to call. And how much does Mike have in front of him? That's the other issue.
But the Nobles,
He's got only about 3,000. He's got about 3,500 here, Shirley. So in essence, the bet here at the end is a $3,500 bet at the end, which means the pot's about 9,000 to 10,000, 3,500 to call. And I believe Mike is folded.
Yeah, I mean, that's an example of what we were talking about a couple weeks ago. Even though the pot's laying you the right bet, I mean, if you know you can, you just lay it down.
see how he thinks, Ali?
That's a big call there with a $2,000 raise just with a flush draw. I mean,
Right.
you're only seeing one card.
I know.
And he
but
didn't get paid off, remember, either. So
that's
he didn't
right.
have
So he
any
didn't get
implied
implied
odds.
odds.
And you also have to take into account the player that you're playing against, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like we said, this guy, I mean, I'm not familiar with him, so I mean, he looks like he might be new. He might not be familiar with the players like we are. So he doesn't know that he's not going to get the implied odds, you know, from Mike.
She'll get it for me. Well, can't tell her to stop getting it.
Ralph, what are you doing?
It's okay, actually. You can hang out. Got it. Just one's fine.
Limp here.
Are you driving down to Oceanside?
$300 raise by seat 7. He's got pocket 7s. It's Avo. We haven't heard from him in a while. Let's see if he's going to get any action here. Yeah, he's got called in a couple of spots, and here we go to the flop. 8-5-4. Pretty good flop for pocket 7s. Now Yosh has got a pair. He's got a gut shot to the 7. It's a $400 raise pre-flop, right? So it's about $1,200 pot now.
800.
And Avo's going to bet 800. One overcard. He's got a gut shot to the 6.
I'm going to raise.
And look at this. Yoshi's going to come over the
Wow.
top. He's got a pair and a gut shot, you know. And if Avo didn't have an overpair and he was just doing this with high cards, he's got a check raise. He's made it 2,400. Is it 2,400 total here? 2,400 more. 2,400 more. Avo bet 800. And Avo's going to make the call.
You got an overpair, huh? Huh?
And Avo makes the call here. And again, we've got about a $6,000 or $7,000 pot. Well, and Yosh needs one of Avo's 7s, or he needs to
That's
spike
right.
2 pair. And
He
look at this.
missed
The
it.
turn's a 7.
Now escape aboard pair.
Oh, and the river's a queen. And Yosh makes
Wow.
the gut shot when Avo holds 2 7s in his hand. Unbelievable. That is unbelievable. If you think the online games are rigged.
We got one email here. It says, "Hi Shirley, this is in response to online versus live play. Point them to your latest journal post. The truth is right there with Omaha hands you've been playing lately." So I play mostly Omaha, so I mean they play about everywhere.
So you were
And-
saying, you're mostly saying that you don't like the online play because a lot of the players that you see in Omaha are bad.
Well, they're bad everywhere. They're bad when I see them here. They're bad when I see them online. I mean, obviously I'm winning online. I wouldn't keep playing online. They're bad.
Let's take a look at another chip count here. Vic's got 20,000. Avo, he's down, and I want to say he's probably down to about 12 now, 12 or 13, and Yosh is up. Yosh just doubled through.
Double through,
Up
so
over
he's up to about
10,000.
11,000 now.
He could have laid
And
his hand
Ken's
down.
got about
And
11,500.
Ollie's still stuck on the bottom.
Now look at this. Simon's got pocket kings here. He's on the button.
But Yosh doesn't have much, and Mike does. Mike has ace-jack,
Simon's raised here, 400 with the kings.
and he's, yeah.
And look at
moving
this.
all in.
Mike Wu's going to come over the top all in, and that's an easy call for Simon.
That's the one thing about, being short-chipped.
Yeah, he's going to
You
move
know,
all
you
in for, it looks like another 2,500. And Simon, unless he doesn't get unlucky here,
Has Simon made the call?
well, I think he asked for a stack. He asked to call, he asked to have it counted down here. And, boy, I got to tell you, like in a short chip, my money's going in here with kings. I'm not even thinking twice about it. But he hasn't done it instantly here yet. Mike Wu's come over the top in the blind, all in for 2,500 more. Mike had originally raised to 400. And if if Simon makes this call, we've got yet another pot over $5,000. This is just great stuff because usually in a no-limit game, Shirley, you don't see a lot of all-in pre-flop at these levels because usually it's all
Right.
unrestricted. And he's going to make the call. And Mike is.
I don't know what took him so
One
long. I mean,
overcard.
that
Yeah.
makes Mike think he has the best hand. It's just...
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
for
that's
some
what they're
re- yeah,
saying.
then
Why'd you
why
take
does-
so long?
yeah.
You got ace queen.
And here we go to the flop. Oh, it's an ace! Brutal. Well, Simon's got backdoor spades,
There's
and there's
one.
one of them on the turn. And the river is a 7. Oh. And Simon's going to double through Mike.
Are you okay, Bart? You almost fell out of your chair on that one.
Well, I'm having a rough time over here. My heart. I don't know if we can flash back here, but it's just it's a difficult time for me sometimes when I see all these bad beats. It's really difficult. Unbelievable stuff here, and you can catch it all right here. We do this every night, 6 to 9 o'clock, Monday through Friday. Unbelievable stuff. Well, we've just got an influx of emails here.
Yes, we did. I whipped through them, but...
Yeah.
Give them 135.
Again, we try to read as many emails as we possibly can here.
You will,
Roxanne says, what's your favorite bike meal?
And there was somebody else that asked the same thing about that.
Mine's probably chicken kebab.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, I love
Chicken
that
kebab,
stuff.
and the carne asada is good, too.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
And that's my buddy Rich asking about other games.
Yeah.
No other games. I'll tell you about it later.
And we've got a $400 raise here by Peter. And no one's going to call. He's going to take it down. So again, you can email us at live@thebike.com or post on the 2+2 thread by going to 2plus2.com. Spelled out, click on forums, Texas Hold'em section, and high limit and mid limit, pot and no limit section over there. Official Live at the Bike thread for November 23rd. Again, that's mid and high limit, no limit section.
Well,
Now,
you have to tell the viewers about your Depeche Mode concert.
That's right. I went to the Depeche Mode concert last night. It was great. I got there. I was only late for the second song. I got there in the middle of the second song.
So you
Played
only
a-
missed one full song.
That's right.
That's pretty dang good.
I managed to drink about 3 or 4 24-ounce Coors Lights in the course of the concert. And it was great.
That's right.
I just love to see a band that you never would have thought that you would have seen. Well, this is really strange.
20 years after they were popular.
Yeah. I don't think that Abo gave his cards back from last year. Look at that. He still got them up in the window here. Abo still has his cards up on the window. He doesn't realize it. And she's put the deck in the shuffle machine.
Those cards go back in. Well, the one great thing about that automatic shuffler is it'll count the deck, counts it, and let you know when it's short.
And
So
that's why we're seeing the red light.
it'll show a red light, and then she re-puts it back in.
Yeah. He just liked his hand so much. It was only Jack Nine of Hearts. It's what I was saying about Depeche Mode. It's great to see an old band that you never would have thought that you would have seen in concert.
What's up? How come you're all dressed up? Where'd you go? Huh?
And we got a limp here by, Ali's in the big blind. We get a raise there in seat 2 with pocket 5s, and no one calls. Now, the other thing, too, Shirley, if you want to check out here, is if you take a look at our upper right-hand corner of the screen, poker pads here, Live at the Bike. You can get poker pads customized, and it is basically a mouse pad that you can practice, your chip, shuffling tricks. It's real poker felt. You can get anything written here, and it's cool. Yeah, it's really cool. You put your mouse on it. It comes with like a little stack of chips, and you can check it out and practice your chip shuffling and such. And, pretty nifty. I got to tell you, when we were in Vegas doing the Rio Poker Convention, everyone kept coming up to us and like, are you giving these things out? Are you giving these things out? It's pretty cool. Check it out.
That would be a good gift. They
right
should
there.
give those away here.
Yeah, it's a great Christmas gift as well as a subscription to the archives. Button's going to move over here to seat 4.
Okay. What's this number? What's his name?
I knew you'd have them come out from the woodwork, Shirley.
They're going crazy.
Well, I mean, what do you expect when you make a comment about online players. Not that you said that they weren't worse than live players, but you said that they were horrible. And most of our audience is probably a lot of pro online players. So just
But
comes with
why,
the
but why
territory.
are they online players? Because
I
the
think-
games are beatable.
Well, of course they're beatable, but I think the live
the
games
players suck.
are more beatable, and it just makes a lot more sense to do it, online because you don't have to deal with tipping and
Yeah, well,
driving
play
the casino.
3060 Omaha with me, Bart, one time and see if they're just as juicy as the games over here.
We have a raise here
I guarantee.
by seed 8 to 300, and we've got 4 callers. He raised with Ace King, 8-7 deuce here, and it's a $1,500 pot. And we got a $500 bet. Look by seat number 9, Simon. He comes out and bets with bottom pair, and Vic's flop top 2 pair. He's on the button. Vic is and Simon's come out and he's bet 500 here with deuce 4. Let's see how Vic is going to play this. There's a couple hearts out here. And again, I always say that normally the advanced players will raise with their good hands on the flop or check raise with their hands on the flop, and he's raised to the top 2 here. I mean,
Yeah,
Shirley,
they're not looking to trap.
last night, Shirley just drove me nuts.
Yeah.
The amount of slow playing in that 300-500 game, and Vic is going to take it down there with 7-8. Takes it down. Top 2 pair.
It's going to drive you so nuts that you're going to actually finish that article that you're writing about slow playing. One of these days. He owes me an article on slow playing.
I know. Well, I've actually tried to
gonna post it
complete
on
it
my
a couple
site.
times, but I'm not happy with it.
So.
I'm not happy with how it's come out yet.
Okay. Well, fair enough. It's only taken you 6 months. It's got to come out perfect by the time you give it to me.
I know. Buttons in seat 6 here. Ken Kukeruberg, he's going to limp in here with King 10 offsuit. 4-way action here. And $400 pot, 10-10-3, couple clubs. And Ken Bergs, he's got trip 10s.
But he's going to check it.
Yep. And he's got queen 10 over there. And he checks. There's a couple clubs on board. Turns a 7. 2 hearts on board now. Possible straights out there. Peter's picked up a pair.
Nobody really has anything,
Yeah.
Besides Peter. But
And
nobody
now
has a flush draw. Nobody has
Ken
straight draw or
bets.
heart.
He bets 300. And I'm sure, well, let's see. Well, Peter's going to make the call. I got to tell you, I don't know if I would have called here. And Peter is drawing dead here, correct? River's a king.
That's right.
Peter checks.
Peter doesn't know Ken like we know Ken.
Ken bets again. He's going to bet 400.
And he might call 400 too. That's a small enough bet.
I think I'm going to bring Ken Berg into the article as well, Shirley. I'm going to write for you.
Yeah, he's a classic example.
Yeah. And look at this. Peter pays him off, though. And Ken looks like a genius slow playing the trip 10s. But what I thought was going to happen was that everyone was going to check fold on the turn. And Ken would have made no money, but in essence, every time he checks his trips and his high 2 pairs and his sets, he's just letting somebody hit a miracle card, which in essence, like we say sometimes talk about reverse
Right.
implied odds, to bust him. Because he'll
Right.
never put any money in
Right.
with a good hand. And
Well,
he's
which
always
is one
letting
of the
free
things
cards
that
up.
we saw with Tim Van a couple weeks ago. Remember, he made those trip 5s, and Tim hit that gut shot because Ken had checked on the turn.
Right.
And he ended up losing all his chips.
Right, Ken checked
Again,
behind him on
right,
the turn, which
right.
is just unbelievable.
And Tim got
Yeah.
there, and Tim got all his chips.
We got a raise here, $300 by seat 2. Five-way action here, it looks like. And the action's back over to Simon, excuse me. He's got pocket 6s. And he's going to move all in, out of the small blind.
All in.
We had a raise here by Mike. Ken called with pocket 9s. A couple people called in between. And now Simon's moved in for 2,100 all in. And Ken's hand might be the only one that could call. Mike is the original raiser here with King Queen. With all these people
Right,
behind him,
he's
he's not
done.
going to come in. We've seen Ken muck this hand before. It's an $1,800 more to him.
And he does have Vic to act behind him. But he makes the call.
He's going to make the call. Well, there's $1,200 in dead money in there. So,
Yeah, but I mean, he still had a couple people to act behind
that's
him.
true.
So
And his pot's going to be about $6,000.
yeah, he has a pair. He has you beat.
Yep, and Simon's going to have to
So
get
far,
awful
nice
lucky
against
here.
sixes.
Ace, king, deuce here, no help. Turn is an 8. Simon needs a 6. And the river's queen. Ken's going to take it down. And again, I always think it's fun to see like $5,000 and $6,000 races sometimes, although Ken, that's not a race. 'Cause usually you don't see that
Right.
at this level.
This one doesn't play.
Do you want... And,
So Ken had a little bit of money on that hand.
yeah. And let's see. It looks like Simon is, he's out of there. Yep. Button's moved over here to seat 8.
That's funny.
$300 raise here.
I'm reading a post here by CCW Glock 27, which is one of the 2 Plus tours
Yeah, I
that came
think
in
his
here
name
and
is
played.
Brian. Yep.
Yeah, and he's talking about that the bicycle casino needs to bring a portable defibrillator.
Because I'm going to have a
Because they're
heart
gonna
attack
need to
with all these
revive
suckouts. Now, Peter raised here with pocket jacks, and he's going to get called, and he's hit top set. He raised it up to 400. It's a $1,600 pot. Now, Vic's got an open-ended straight draw. And Mike's got top pair. And Mike's going to bet right out with Queen Jack. He's going to bet 800. And I've seen Vic raise in this spot to knock somebody else out behind him. But Pete's not going anywhere. He's got top set.
But in this case, I don't know if you would want to knock somebody out in there. You want somebody else in that pot to help you get better price, right? He
Well, he
must.
folds. He's worried about Peter behind him, and again, he makes a great play because Peter's got the goods. It's a $2,400 pot, 800 to call.
And Peter just called.
No. Here
So
we go
Peter's
to
in
the turn.
really good shape.
Turns a 3.
Actually,
And now, what do you-
actually, he's got a lock on it now.
Yep. And now, if you're Mike, what do you think? Do you think that this guy called just with Ace King here? Is he slow playing a monster?
Well, you can't, automatically shut down.
$3,200
He's not. He's going to go
pot.
ahead and bet.
He's going to bet $2,500 into a $3,200 pot, and he might be pot committing himself again. And Peter's moved all in. And look, Mike is disgusted. He's disgusted. $5,700 when Mike bet it. Peter moves all in. It looks like Mike has another $3,000 left. So it is basically, he's only got about $2,000 left. So he's basically making that call and raising it about $2,000 more. I want to say about $10,000 in the pot here. And it's about $2,500 to call. $9,000 to $10,000 in the pot, about $2,500 to call. That's the odds. I mean, and this is a play that you see in limit sometimes, Shirley, where somebody might raise the turn with Ace King here and check in a free showdown if they don't get there. But in no limit, it's kind of tough. I mean, it's a strong move. I've never really seen anybody necessarily do this move here, with absolutely nothing. You wonder. I mean, Mike can only really beat a pure bluff here, obviously. Again, it's about a $10,000 bet here.
Yeah.
Or pot
a
here.
Semi-bluff would.
Right, he could beat a bluff. He
yeah.
could be beating a bluff,
He
like
could beat a
overcards
king,
of
king.
clubs. Exactly.
Put the 25. I got 2,500.
Yeah, and he's got 2,500 more.
You get 25, get 25.
I know, but oh, that's in the
Look at Peter. He's gotten up. He's gotten up. Again, the pot's about $10,000. It's $2,500 to call. And he makes the call. He's going to make the call, and the pot's going to be about $12,000, and he is drawing dead. And a set of jacks is going to take it down.
Jacks are good with you. Most possible
And there it is. Set of jacks there, and this guy's ripping it up right now in seat 8.
Yeah, 2 small blinds.
need a floor man. I need a.
Mike Wu says, I need a floor man. I need more chips. Button's going to move over here to seat 2.
5,000.
Here's the button there in seat 2. Yeah. And we have a straddle there in seat 5, which means it's $200 to call for anybody else.
Slide 5. Raise, make it 8.
Mike raises and makes it 8 with king, queen, and takes it down. Obviously, they still give him respect, even though he could very well be on tilt, but he's not. And he's buying in for more chips. I don't remember
life's been good
how many buy-ins he's made. Is he buying for 10 or 5 more? So he's buying 5 more. So I guess he's only lost 1 buy-in, and seems like he's lost more.
I don't know about that.
The button's in seat 3.
Raise, make it 300.
Seat 8 raises to 300 with pocket deuces,
Okay.
and Mike calls.
I can see myself doing that.
And Ed calls 3 players. Ed has ace 6.
I check.
Flop of ace, king, queen. Seat 8 bets. $800. And Mike just folded his ace deuce. Huh, I guess he was trying to hit diamonds. He turns a 10. Ed checks. Peter moved all in. Wow. That's a bold move. Bart, you missed this. This guy just moved all in on an ace, king, queen, 10 board against Ed.
Not this time, no.
It hasn't been behind you.
Pretty
Ed-
incredible stuff. I've
Ed
gotten
has
up
the
out of
best
my
hand.
chair.
Yeah, he had to step out for a second. But
And
he
Ed's
gets
going
Ed
to
to lay
fold.
down.
Ed's going to fold. Well, I mean, what can Ed beat there?
Ed is Ed. He calls pair of aces.
Yeah, but I mean, he can't beat 2 pair. He can't beat a jack.
He
Again,
can beat deuces.
I actually had to step out for a second, step back in the middle of that hand, but it looked like Peter had position. So when Ed checks it there,
Yeah, well, what had happened was Ed had called and seat 8 had played and Mike had called.
Yeah.
And Mike had position. And he laid down his ace rag immediately on the flop.
Well.
And Ed called.
Again, pretty incredible stuff here live at the bike. We do it every Monday through Friday, 6 to 9
And yes,
o'clock
the games are always this juicy.
Pacific time.
Make it 1,000.
We got a raise here by seat 8, Peter, with pocket 3s. And we've got seat number 2 there, Mike Wu. He's going to come over the top for 1,000. He's got pocket 10s.
600.
And seat
Peter
8
might be-
just won with deuces. He's
Yeah.
getting frisky here with 3s.
See what he's going to do here. He started, remember, at 5,000. He's going to make the call. And we've got a $2,000 pot here going heads up. Mike is in position. Oh, it's a set of 3s there for Peter. Somebody stop me. I'm about
You're
to
going to
collapse.
die. He's going to die. Oh.
And Peter checks, and Mike moves all in with the overpair, of course. And Peter calls. Here we go to the turn. It's a deuce.
Mike needs a 10.
the river 10, and it's a 9, and Peter gets him again. Bing.
Did Mike even get his
bang,
chips?
Boom. Mike
He got
just
his chips. They
loses.
didn't even sit there in front of him for
Mike loses
more than 2
another
minutes.
$5,000 there. Back to back hands there for Peter. Wow. Incredible stuff. Somebody shoot me. My goodness. Put me out of my misery. Pocket 10s against pocket 3s.
5,000 behind on 2.
Absolutely incredible. And Mike Wu, he's going to buy for 5,000. I wonder, he knows. Usually he's not the type of player that loses, but he can buy in
No.
for 10 if he wants. Because we've seen him do 2 rebuys now, right?
And the one thing about him is I would imagine, because I've seen him play a lot, is that his play is still going to stay the same, and he's not going to tilt, and he has a very good shot of doing okay, by the end of the night.
3-way action here, limped around.
He is hot.
Jack 9 deuce. And again, we'll get a little chip count on Peter as soon as possible. I got to think that he's probably the big winner tonight.
I need another marker down.
Ken Berg is going to bet there. Now, Ken there, he bets with nothing, Shirley. He takes it down. If he had Jack 9, would he bet it?
He wouldn't bet
If
it.
he had, paired, set of deuces, would he bet it?
Well, we saw him earlier with Ace Jack, top pair, top kicker, and he
Yeah.
checked it.
I mean, that's basically the point of what we're trying to say, that you just know how he plays. You can definitely pick up a pretty transparent pattern in the way that he goes about playing. And there's a chip count there. So Peter, he's up right around where Vic, $21,000. Abo's got 17.
That didn't take him long to get up there.
No. And there's over 100,000 on the table. We've got a live straddle here coming into the next hand by Yosh. Yosh has got pocket 4s in the straddle spot. And we've got 4-way action limped around, so it's an $800 pot, 200 times 4. Ace, ace, 4, and look at who's got trip aces. It's Ken Kukuru Berg.
Against Yosh's
but
full
Yosh
house.
has flopped a full house. And of course, both players check.
500.
And look at this, Ed's going to bet. He's going to bet 500
Well, why
with King
not bet
4.
4? Bet the 4.
Yeah.
I'd bet the 4.
He's going to bet 500 with King 4. Yosh calls.
And
let's see
that's
if
just a horrible call
Well,
from 4s.
Well, what?
Because somebody has an ace, and you could get all their chips.
Well, let's see how Yosh is going to play it. And look at this. Ken just calls with his ace. Here we go to the turn. It's a queen. But remember, Ken has got outs here to fill up. Yosh checks.
And Ed's not going to
And
fall
look at
for
this,
it.
though. No, but
he is going to fall for it again.
Ken has checked his trip aces again.
Yosh,
and now Ed's going to bet.
That's something. That's right.
Well, this might have something to do with the fact that Ed's in the hand, Shirley.
yeah, but wouldn't you think that Ed would not bet after he got 2 calls? 2 players call you in that pot.
Well, he's bet
Someone
again.
has an ace.
He's bet again here. And it looks like, how much is
It's
the
not
bet
like
here?
there was a flush draw possible
1,000?
out there.
Pot is $3,600. It's 1,000 for Yosh to call. And if you're Yosh, do you think that? I think Ken Berg has an ace here.
Well, of course. That's why he's putting a raise in.
And he's going to move all in. He's going to move all in here, and it looks like it's another 4,300. He's going to check raise here. And look at Ken is not. Well, the other thing, too, is that Ken might be putting a Hollywood act on to maybe try to, lure Ed into the pot behind him.
I'm really surprised that Yosh made that, because if Ken Kukuru Chicken overcalled Yosh, he's got an ace. So do you think that Ken could make that huge call, or would you want to divide it up?
Well, it's 6,500 total here.
You want to bet enough, but
Yeah. So the pot now is about $10,000, and it's another 5,500, I believe, for Ken. So it's actually 6,500 for Ken to call, and it's a $10,000 pot. And Ken's going to call. He's going to call. He's going to make the call, and I'm sure that Ed is now going to fold.
that worked out. Then he got exactly, Yosh
Ed's
got
going to
Ken
fold.
get his chips.
And this is going to be the biggest hand of the night here.
And Ed's just going, what? I thought I had a hand.
We've got a $16,000 or $17,000 pot.
Ace 10? I'll give you ace 10.
And Yosh says, I give you ace 10.
Queen, you got me dead. Ace jack.
Ace jack.
What do you want to do?
And are they going to run a deal
They're
here?
talking about running the deal.
For 3 outs? Well, here we go to the river.
3 outs?
The river's
What are
a
you talking about,
deuce.
3 outs?
And Yosh is going to take it down there. You're right, he could have caught a queen there, too.
Right.
Yeah. Obviously, a 4 would not have been good.
So used to take it back.
Well, we saw that.
Yeah.
Ed had the 4.
Only Jack or Queen you lose.
No kidding. How about an ace?
Oh, yeah. That's another.
Can't you just say no, Bart? It's more than that instead of. What are you talking about? Huh? When-
Sorry, Bart.
Well, anyways, Yosh there, he wins a nice hefty pot. Biggest pot of the night, $17,000. And, obviously, I mean, I'm not...
Okay, I'm sorry. Don't yell
Well,
at
no,
me.
you can't, what I would say is you can't blame... I don't think you can blame Ken for going bust on that hand, or losing that
No,
money.
not really.
It just drives me nuts the way that he plays the hands the same every single time.
Right.
Every single time.
It's got to work once tonight, right?
Now we got a raise here by Ed with ace 5, and I think Yosh is going to come back over the top. He's got pocket 9s.
25.
And he's going to make it 2,500 here to go. Oh, wow, and Ed's going to make the call with ace rag. And we've got a $5,000 pot here going heads up. And Ed doesn't have much more left.
No.
Here we go to the flop. Well, he's got a wheel draw.
Yeah,
King
he
deuce
does.
3.
Needs an ace or a 4. He's probably going to get his chips in here, too, saying, oh,
Yeah.
I got an overcard.
Well, Yoshi's going to move all in, and let's see how much Ed has left. I think Ed is called.
I don't know what it is.
He's going to make the call, and Ed can catch an ace or a 4 here. It's about 2,500 here. It's again about a $10,000 pot. Let's see if they run it multiple times here again. Well, here we go to the turn. Turns a 10. River's a queen, and they just run it once. I don't think Ed actually runs deals anymore, Shirley, after last week.
Oh,
and
right.
Ed goes bust. And Yosh takes down another pot. And he's on a little hot streak now. We're going to have to get his chip comp pretty soon. And again, I don't think Yosh is... And look at Ed. He's bewildered.
You're gonna play until 9 only?
What are you going to do? I mean, I'm here.
Ed says you're going to play till 9 only. Yosh like, whatever you want, buddy.
No, he's saying that we're quitting at 9. No, we're not. Not quitting? All right.
No, we're not quitting
you're
at
not
9.
quitting, You're not quitting? You're not quitting? Not quitting?
10,000.
They're not quitting.
And he
Just get
says
over here
10,000
and play.
behind. 10,000 behind.
Cocktails!
And folks, this is real cash money. This isn't a joke. It's not a tournament. This is seeing, into the heart of some of the biggest cash games
Right.
in the world. I mean, this is a huge cash game. And you can tell
And
kind
Ed
of the
has-
psyche between professional poker players and the guy with the money who wants to earn it back. Well, hey, I'm going to let you earn it back if you want to keep playing. I'm not going to leave early. The guy with the money, who I think I can beat in poker, says, well, I'm not going to buy in if we're going to end early. Well, hey, buddy, we're not ending
We're
early.
not in early, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here all night if you want.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Get me a glass of lemon,
Ed's got ace jack here, and Ken's got ace
And
5.
what do you know? He actually has the better hand. But Ken outflopped him.
Yeah, 8, 3, 5, couple diamonds.
Give me a bottle. Get a bottle of
Yeah.
So Ken doesn't just check top pair, 2-pair trips. He checks second pair, too. It's not actually a bad board for
Well,
ace
Ed
5.
bet, and Ken called.
Ken called.
Turns a 7, and now Ken's going to come out and bet.
Bet 1,000.
And Ken's bet 1,000 here. Ace 5. Well, Ed's ace would be no good if he hit it. And again, Ed is 10,000 behind.
But he has 2 overcards, so he might make this call.
We've seen him do it in the past.
We have seen him do it.
Who bet 1,000?
You bet 1,000.
Did he just say who bet 1,000? The only other player in the hand.
I don't blame you. I shouldn't buy the second.
That's what he said, isn't it?
Pretty priceless. Yeah. I think he's
Oh,
he's
man.
here. Yeah, that one we could. That one
Your
we
head's
might
up
be able
there,
to,
Ed.
We might be able to get on our highlight reel. So again, look forward to tomorrow. Check out some of our best of episodes. We'll start it at noon. Noon tomorrow. Run for 14 hours straight. And again, tonight is sponsored by Poker Blue. You can go to pokerblue.com to check out their big fat weekly free roll.
We forgot to do their commercial
And
in the middle.
And actually,
we're
gonna
doing
learn
a
a little
setup.
bit.
We're gonna do
We're gonna learn a little bit more about that now.
Speaking of the commercial.
Yeah.
I know. It's
We are
not in
getting to
there.
it.
Wait.
It's not done yet. It's not done yet. You can't get it
done
out until it's done.
I know.
Play just 4 hours on PokerBlue.com and qualify for our weekly free roll to win your choice of a seat at the World Poker Tour, the World Series of Poker, or, if you dare, a seat at Poker Blue's high-stakes whale game here on Live at the Bike. Get in on the action now because these free rolls are so small that they redefine the term overlay. To qualify, open an account on PokerBlue.com with $100. Then play 4 hours at $1 and $2 limit or any no-limit game. You can even start playing right now while watching Live at the Bike. Just click the PokerBlue.com banner on the right of your screen or log on to PokerBlue.com, bonus code BIKE. And don't forget, every week you play 4 hours gives you another chance to win.
What a great commercial.
Yeah.
My goodness. Shirley, I was looking at your sweater.
Uh-huh.
You have fuzz all over your sweater.
I know. Well,
My
the
God.
fuzz is on my sweater. The fuzz is going on
Come
my
on,
shirt.
Gara, that was a cue for you. Her shirt's
Yeah.
open.
Oh, see, you're trying to...
We got pocket jacks here.
What a fart.
Raised here by Peter. He's got pocket jacks. And Ed's going to make the call here with 7-10 of spades.
Yep.
And we're heads up here. It's an $800
Like
pot.
the story I told earlier tonight, huh?
And, well, he's got
With
top
that
pair here,
he
Shirley,
does.
and he could get in trouble again. He's 10,000 behind. Or excuse me, he's got his chips right now. And he checks. And Peter's going to bet.
Make it 2,800.
He bets 800, and Ed's going to check raise to 2,800. And Peter moves all in. And Ed calls.
Oh, my gosh.
He calls. This
So
is
a 7, 8,
This is a $16,000
a 7,
pot,
8, or
folks.
10.
Turn is an ace.
7, 8, or 10.
And the river's a 3, and Ed goes broke again. Just like that. Unbelievable. All the money, about 7,000 or 8,000, go to Peter. Just like that. My heart, Shirley, my heart.
Wow.
30.
You know, you'd almost feel bad for Ed, except for the fact that you know that it doesn't really affect him. He's going to still eat tonight.
Yep.
150.
And let's see if Ed's going to play a little more money behind her. Well, he can buy in for 20 now.
135.
Yeah. Look at the right side. No, actually, Ed had
Yeah, he's
Ed had him covered, right?
No, did he? Ed have him? Peter had a ton of money, didn't he?
Isn't that what he has left, or did he just rebuy? Or he
No,
borrowed?
he just rebought. He's buying 5,000 again.
Okay.
Can I use my phone?
Can't fucking believe it, huh?
Now Ed has a hand. Now Ed has queens.
He's got pocket queens here.
Get it.
He's gonna raise here to 500. And he's under the gun, it looks like. Yeah, and he's playing. Is he playing another 10,000 or 5? Is that a big? Yeah, that's another 10,000 behind. He's got a big purple chip there, Shirley. And look at this. We've got two callers, King 10 of diamonds and pocket sevens, $1,500 pot. Oh boy, King Jack 5, and Ed's got the Queen of Spades
Ed
in
has
his
the queen
hand.
of spades.
He's gonna bet.
At 1,000.
And does Ava want to get involved here with King 10 with the King of Diamonds? You know, with just King 10 of diamonds here. Ed bets 1,000 into a $1,500 pot. And Ed has 10,000 to start the hand. That extra chip is a $5,000 chip, and Avo calls. Maybe he's going to wait for a safe card here on the turn.
To make some kind of move. Well, he knows that Ed's on
Pot's
tilt,
now
and Ed will
$3,500.
call a raise.
Turns a 4, and Ed checks. And now Avo, let's see if he's going to bet. $3,500 pot here. And Avo is reaching for chips. He's going to bet. He's going to bet 14,000. Excuse me, 1,400, I'm sorry.
How much?
I'm delusional there for a second. And Ed calls. Ed's going to make the call. And here we go to the river. And the river's a 5. And Avo's hand with King 10 is good. And he could still get a call here. Let's see if Avo's. We said. Let's see if he makes a value. Let's see if he makes a value bet. No, he's going to check it down.
He says 2 pair.
Going to check it down. And Avo is going to take it down there with the King 10. Well, sometimes, you know, Shirley, a lot of these pros will make big value bets against the whales there. A little bit surprised that Avo checked that down at the end. You know that Ed's probably going to call with a jack. He's going to, and he probably would have called with pocket queen.
And
there.
I was saying that Avo could have put Ed on a 5 because, I mean, we know that Ed's capable of
Ed
that.
did
But
raise
Ed would.
pre-flop under the gun. He hasn't been that out of line with some of his pre-flop raises. So.
Right. And Ed probably would have fired out with that 5 on there making trips, even though there was 3 flush cards on the board.
Unbelievable stuff here, live at the bike.
How many chips does Seat 8 now have? I mean, he started out with 5,000. He's only been here. He's been here less than anybody else on the table. He's been here, what, like 30 minutes?
I think he's colored up, too, because he had way more chips in front of him than that.
Yeah, well, as many chips as he has, it should be building a castle around there. He must have
He has
some
got a
big
bunch
chips.
of green chips and those big purple chips, which are $5,000 chips. Yeah, see, take a look there. I don't know if we can get it behind that stack.
Oh, yeah,
behind.
those are all $1,000. We just saw it.
Yeah, the stack behind in seat 8.
He's shaking his head no, but we can get it. We just saw it.
Yeah, that's a big stack of $1,000 chips there. Look at that.
There you go.
Well, that's almost.
Those are all $1,000 chips.
I've never seen a stack. That's like a 20
That's
chip
like
stack
$20,000.
of $1,000 chips. That's incredible.
Are they stacked on top of like $5 chips, or are they all $1,000 chips? They look like they're all $1,000 chips.
Peter's going to raise here. He's made it 300 with 7-9 of diamonds.
You know, in tournaments, we're supposed to keep the big chips in front.
Yeah.
That would be good. It would help it make it, you know, we'd be able to see what he has.
$1,200 pot, and Peter's flop trip 9s right away. This guy's crushing. Seat 8. See how he plays it. And Ali's got top pair. Let's see how Ali plays it. And I think he got checked around. And Mike bet 600, and Ali is called. And let's see how Peter makes the play. It's a rainbow board here. Mike bet with a bluff. Ali called with queen 7. And Peter's just going to call. Pot is now about 2,200. Turn is an 8. And now Ali picks up a flush draw. Boy, you got to think Peter would put some money in here, surely, now, where it's getting awful coordinated. Ali's got top pair and a flush draw. And it gets checked around, and he lets Ali get there. He never put any money in with the 9.
Are you going to go crazy?
And Ali has moved all in. He made a backdoor flush.
We really are going to need to.
And Ali thinks he's beat. Peter's made the
Jumpstart
call.
you.
Oh, wow. I mean, he checked the turn, and Mike checked right behind him. Unbelievable. I got to say, I mean, Peter is crushing the game here, Shirley, but some of the things that I've seen him do tonight, he hasn't necessarily bet out on his trips and his sets. He's been getting lucky with some of the cards that he's hit. I've seen him play some questionable hands that some of the viewers might not have been privy to because we haven't mentioned it pre-flop, like a couple of ace rags in early positions to raises.
He's actually, I mean, he's up a lot of money, but he's actually had some hands, though.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's had jacks hold up, and what do you have? Also had queens or kings? He had another big pair hold up.
Yeah.
Let's go outside and fight it out. Let's see who's right.
We have a new player in seat 9.
Hey, right there, Mark. Hey, good. I never agree with you. No,
His name is
explaining
Mark.
to you that you're coming up with invalid conclusions from false premises.
Got a $400 raise here. And we get a raise here by seat 5. I believe Ed's come over the top with King Jack. A raise by Vic Park with ace 9, and Ed is re-raised with King Jack. And Avo mucks the ace-jack suited to a raise and a re-raise. But he had the best hand. And Vic is out of position. Let's see if he makes the call. He's got ace-9. No, he's going to fold. Well, again, Vic, very, very smart player. Knows the value of hands. And again, you know, Ed's pre-flop play is usually not that out of line. I mean, we've seen people make raises like that on the button, re-raises king-jack. It's a little aggressive, but it's not something that's totally out of the ordinary. Going to get into the next hand here. Buttons moved over here to seat 6. Limp. Complete, and a check out of the big blind. 4-way action. $400 pot. 5,100 blinds here in this game. Ace, 4, 5. Couple diamonds. Everybody's checked. The turn is an 8. Ed's got a pair of 8s now and the queen high flush draw. Second nut. And Peter's going to come out and bet here. He's got nothing. Excuse me, he's got the jack high flush draw. He's going to bet 400 there. $50 chips there, pink chips. Let's see what Ed does. Ed's going to call. And Ed has the best hand right now. He's got the best draw.
Ed is running out of chips quick.
He's got the best draw, and he has a pair. And the river's a jack. And look at
Peter
this. Peter backs in to the best hand. Unbelievable.
Yeah, technically Peter did have the best hand pre-flop.
Well, I know,
and
but
then
not
on
and he's going to make a bet here again, thinking his hand is good, and it is good. If you don't put Ed on if you don't put Ed on an ace here, you now have second pair, and he's going to, he value bet 600, and Ed calls with the 8. And Peter's going to take it down there with a jack.
Yeah, I don't think that Peter was actually value betting. I think he was betting because he didn't think he had the best hand.
Really? You think that Ed would have checked the flop?
Well, once Ed called, he said your ace is good.
Well, that usually will indicate that he probably didn't think he had the best hand. Again, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I'm totally going blind here. I do not know who Peter is. I don't know if he's a professional player. I don't know if he's a whale.
Right.
I don't know if I can give him credit to make a value bet with second pair. Anyways, look at
another chip count. Look at Peter.
$30,000.
And Vic's just hanging steady at 21,000, and it's getting close to 9 o'clock, so we'll probably be seeing his move of the night. Yeah, and
Yosh is a big winner too, 20,000. Avo was 17, but obviously Peter, the big winner so far tonight. It's interesting here. We had an email here from the Fancy Princess. She said,
"Yeah, that's a really very strong argument there. I like that."
That the play. Well, we'll get to this after this hand. C2's going to raise here with King Jack offsuit to 500, and Ed's calling with 7 deuce suited, and we're heads up. Jack deuce 8. Ed's got a piece of it, but Mike's got top pair, and Mike's going to bet. $600 bet, and Ed calls. Turn is an 8. It's the kind of thing that sometimes might scare you, because maybe not so much as a flush, but maybe Ed has an 8. And now Mike's going to move all in. And he's got the king high flush draw as well.
And Ed only has a deuce. No heart. I don't think he'll be making this call, even if he is on tilt.
He would need to spike a deuce win, right? 7 would not be any good because the board is now paired. And Ed makes the call!
He does.
He throws a $5,000 chip out there like it's nothing. And the river's a 9. And Mike's going to take down about $5,000 from Ed there. Wow.
I'm shaking my head at that.
Unbelievable. There he is, the myth, the legend, Ed Shanazarian. Well, anyways, getting to this email. Fancy Princess here.
She's talking about online poker.
She said a good example of a person that would be good online as opposed to a live player.
Well, it talks about online being easier. A good example would be you.
Would be me, because I would rather play 3 or 4 tables of 5-10 than one of 30-60, because I can see more hands, make more in rake back and bonuses, and it tends to be true because your variance is almost sometimes less and you're always making consistent money.
Right.
You know. You
So
can,
she continues to say a lot of low limit grinders do this. This level of play tends to be higher at the lower level. The games can be really good, of course, but they tend to have less soft spots than B&M games.
yeah, brick and mortar games. Yeah.
So, you know, that argument makes sense.
Pots limped around here 4 ways.
Good point.
Queen 8-6.
300.
Well, Ed's got a pair of 8s. Yosh bets 300 with the same hand, and Ed calls. But Mark has top pair over there in
And
seat
Mark
9.
has no idea what's going on, I would
He's
imagine.
new
Unless he was like at home watching this game and said, I got to get into this game. And
That
then he
could be,
knows.
too.
Yeah, that could be.
We don't know. He's going to check raise with the queen. Yeah, we didn't have a board. Anyone could have just come right in here and play in this game.
Right. We have
So
that
maybe he
one seat open.
was. So he's check raised. And Ed's going to make the call here, Shirley. And he's going to need to spy. And remember, Yosh had the same hand. And look at this. A jack comes. Yosh had jack 8. I was going to say, there are less cards out
There's
there.
like hardly any outs, and Ed hit it.
Wow. And now Mark is going to check. And Ed bets here. And I think Ed's moved all in, and Mark
And
is
Mark
called.
called, yeah, instantly.
And Ed doesn't have that much left, and the river's a deuce. And Ed's going
He
to turn
finally
it
wins
over.
a pot. He hasn't won a pot in so long.
Jack 8. There it is. Again, the myth, the legend, Ed Shanazarian scoops up that pot.
Ten more of those, he'll be even.
Yep. Wow. Got about 10 or 15 minutes left in the show. So again, you could check it out tomorrow, Live the Bike, starting at noon Pacific time, 3 Eastern time. I think that would be 5 o'clock Icelandic time.
You're good
Maybe
if that's the real time.
9 p.m. Dutch time for our viewers from the Netherlands.
300.
9 p.m. Danish time. $300 raise here by seat 8.
2 to go.
You had a $300 raise. And here we go to the flop. King 9-7. Look at this. Ed flops a flush. And he checks it.
Chips, Donna. C9.
800.
And we've got an $800 bet here by Peter. And Vic calls. And Ed's going to check raise all in. Vic called in between with King 10 of hearts. Peter was making a bluff. And Ed is going to check raise. And the question here for Vic is, does he want to get involved? Do you think that Ed could make this move with just a naked ace of clubs here?
Well, Vic knows. What's Peter doing? What's he thinking about?
Peter bet, remember, initially in position.
Oh, it's up to Vic right now.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, it's up to Peter, but he's going to fold, I'm sure.
Oh, it's up to Peter.
Yeah,
right.
it got checked to Peter. He bet. Vic called, and Ed check raised all in.
Vic knows. Vic will lay the hand down.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been playing with Ed for a long time, and he knows that if Ed pushes, he has a hand.
Well, could he be doing this though with an ace of clubs? I mean, my
I
answer
don't-
would be no. I
That's
don't think
what I
I've
think.
seen him
I
do
think
it with
no.
the ace of clubs. Yeah.
But a lot of time players can convince themselves that he would do that.
Vic says, "You want me to try on you?"
You would have to pull a Ed hit runner. 10-10.
Yeah.
King 10.
And the button is moved over to seat 9. Excuse me, seat 1. I'm sorry.
We can't share.
We're laughing about several bad people on the 2+2 thread that have.
They're like little jokes.
Yeah. that have.
Well, I guess we could say them
It's
on
a
the air.
family show. I don't know if we can.
We aren't.
Shirley and I don't
monitored,
have that type of relationship, folks. Okay.
But they want to believe we do. They keep thinking that we have something going on, or you want something going on.
Now we had a raise here. I believe it was by Peter with pocket sevens, and we got three-way action. And Ed's got second pair, and actually his hand is good right now. And the raise before the flop was 400, so it's a $1,200 pot here. I believe the action is on Ed. And he looks dumbfounded right now, Shirley. Well, he's checked it, and I believe...
He has? I thought he just
Wait a minute.
bet
Wait. Oh, excuse me. Mark has bet 1,000 from up front. We have the camera on the wrong guy, I think.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, Mark has bet 1,000 here with an open-ended straight draw. And
Ed's
going to
gonna
call, and that means that Peter's out of there. Because Peter knows his hand. He can't overcall. The turn is an 8, and now Mark has a pair, but Ed's got two pair. He's not going anywhere.
No, he's not. He's going to move all in.
And Mark checked, and Ed's going to move all in here. And that's about 7,000 here.
Did Mark check? No. Ed's in early position. Ed's first.
Okay, so Ed just moved in there on
Ed
the turn.
moved in.
Again, it's been a little bit difficult here to
Yeah,
follow where the button has been in the action.
We know that Ed will only usually move in with two pair or better.
So there it is. Ed's on a little bit of a streak now. And the button moves over here to seat 2. Nice to see Ed smile once in a while, right?
Yep.
After 50 grand, it should be fine, shouldn't it?
Okay, we can read one of these posts, Shirley.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I'm going to read the one from Baron
The one that
Baker
really,
12.
yeah, that was the one that really made me laugh.
Damn, Bart, way to go for it, buddy. You forgot to say, let me get that for you, though, Shirley.
And that was talking about the fuzz on my sweater. And it goes on and on from there.
It goes on and on from there. And by the way, I am a classy guy. Three-way action. Vic's got second pair here, 4-6-8.
400.
And we get a bet here by Vic. And he's going to take it down. Again, tonight's show sponsored by Poker Blue. Just check it out, pokerblue.com. Play 4 hours of any 1-2 limit hold'em or higher, any no-limit game. And you qualify for the big, fat weekly free roll that is held on Sundays. There's a kick. Look at Ali. The winner of that free roll will get their choice of seats at the World Series Poker main event, WPT main event, or maybe
Their
even
choice.
come here. Come here and get a couple buy-ins for the whale game on Live with the Bike. Look at this. Ed's got ace, king of hearts. He's in the big blind. And Mike Wu's going to raise with ace-7. Ken Kookaroo Berg calls with pocket fours. Let's see if Ed's going to re-raise here.
Make it 2,300.
He says make it 2,300. So 2,000 on top.
No prisoners, guys. We're gambling.
And I don't think anyone can call here.
You're not gonna play with you again, Mike. All right, you read my hand.
And looks like Mike has folded. And Ken has folded. And Ed's going to take it down. It looks like he is slowly coming back a little bit, Shirley. Got about 5 minutes left in the show. Buttons moved over here to seat 4. That's Vic Park. And there's the newbie on the table, seat 9. Folds. And
Oh, thank you. Hi.
gets folded around here to the blinds. And I think they're going to chop it up between Ed and Ali. And actually, you know what? This is going to be our last hand of the night.
Well, that ended up being fun.
So again, check it out tomorrow night. Or tomorrow, during the day. 12
Yes.
o'clock, noontime. Well, I guess it depends on where you are in the world, but in this country, it's in the afternoon. Noontime or 3 p.m. Eastern, noontime Pacific time.
Right.
14-hour live at the bike Thanksgiving
How many of those-
extravaganza.
Don't raise it, man. Oh, I'm joking, man. What happened? I saw I was just joking, man.
And button limped here.
What's your name? Ali.
And we've got, this is the last hand here, 4-way action. Queen 7 deuce with a couple of diamonds. Avo's got a flush draw.
Does anybody have a pair? No, Avo's the only one with anything.
Yeah.
And he
it
bets
looks
and
like
takes it down.
He's going to take it down.
And we didn't get to see Vic's move.
Yeah. So, yeah, Vic never made a move, and that's going to do it for us tonight. Well, what a lot of exciting action, Shirley, that we had. Again, we are going to be dark tomorrow and Friday. Check us out at noontime Pacific time for a 14-hour live at the bike extravaganza. And then on Friday, we're going to be doing Barry Greenstein's show from a couple of months ago, Friday at 6 o'clock Pacific time, normally, as we're normally scheduled. And again, tomorrow the lineup is the Greg Raymer show, the Bombshell Model show, High Limit 400, 800 Limit Hold'em, the first whale game in August, and then a show from a few weeks ago that was very entertaining, 300, 500. So everyone have a happy Turkey Day. We had a lot of fun here. For everyone here in the booth and for the Poker Babe, I'm Bart Hanson. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
Play just 4 hours on PokerBlue.com and qualify for our weekly free roll to win your choice of a seat at the World Poker Tour, the World Series of Poker, or, if you dare, a seat at Poker Blue's high-stakes whale game here on Live at the Bike. Get in on the action now because these free rolls are so small that they redefine the term overlay. To qualify, open an account on PokerBlue.com with $100. Then play 4 hours at $1 and $2 limit or any no-limit game. You can even start playing right now while watching Live at the Bike. Just click the PokerBlue.com banner on the right of your screen or log on to PokerBlue.com, bonus code BIKE. And don't forget, every week you play 4 hours gives you another chance to win.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.